11 o'clock news. That's right. Carolina Pick 3, Carolina Pick 4, and Carolina Cash 5 numbers every night on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news. See if you're a winner before you go off to bed. Get your lottery numbers live every night.
North Carolina Education Lottery.
Only on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to protect people's health, to preserve magnificent places and wildlife, and to combat climate change. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the Earth needs a good lawyer.
If you suffer from COPD symptoms like shortness of breath and fatigue, where do you turn? There are medications and oxygen, but do you know about pulmonary rehab? 3 out of 5 COPD patients have never heard of it. Pulmonary rehab is an exercise, education, and support program that gives you tools to manage your condition, and Medicare typically pays for it. So whether it's grocery shopping on your own or just walking across the room, pulmonary rehab can help you. Visit livebetter.org to find out about your options for pulmonary rehab today.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Canes light the lamp here.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Partly cloudy, warm and steamy out there. We'll see a high of 88 this afternoon. A small chance of showers and thunderstorms, especially in our eastern counties. 73 tonight, and then tomorrow is a WRAL weather alert day. We have a risk for severe storms, mainly in the evening and overnight. Before the storms begin, we'll see a high of 90 degrees.
3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 224 points to 52,171.
Deep left corner of the end zone! Jalen Coker hauls it in for a touchdown!
Off the back iron, Wilson comes soaring in to dunk it home.
Copeland jabs on him a couple of times. Step back three-pointer, left corner, swish.
One dribble out for Boozer for 3. Big time! And the Carolina Hurricanes are the best team in the NHL. They won the 2026 Stanley Cup.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. Carolina Tar Heels fans, how you feeling? Just checking up on you. Want to make sure you're doing all right. Specifically, Carolina Tar Heels football fans. I feel like you've been the butt of a lot of jokes today. I can't guarantee I won't make a few of them. Football season. It is a football week. Pretty darn quick. Because the training camps are open. The training camps are open. This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan, and we start every edition of The Drive with, presented by Manor Service Company, the Big 3 at 3.
Number 1.
First of all, Manor Service Company, heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. Anything going on in your house that's not going the way it should, Manor Service Company or ManorServices.com. MAYNOR Services.com. Number 1 is what I was referring to, that all the jokes were being made at the expense of Carolina Tar Heels football. Michael Lombardi, the GM of the Carolina Tar Heels football program, is, as of earlier today, it was announced in a release by the school, by the way, not the athletics, by the chancellor. This is where the note came from. He is on paid administrative leave from Carolina. Now, let's go ahead and set the tone here a little bit. This is not just a staffer, right? This is not just like a scout or somebody who, was given a big title. He is scheduled to make $1.5 million this year. That's more than any coach not named Bill Belichick. It's more than the coordinators. It's more than every other front office executive. $1.5 million, according to a salary database of UNC system employees. And there's room for more. His bonus structure provides a $125 payment for UNC playing in a bowl, $125,000 payment for UNC reaching a bowl game. $250K for a top 25 final ranking. His son is the team's quarterback's coach. He's on paid administrative leave. Now, this is the first we've heard of it. Brian Murphy, WRAL, was at ACC kickoff along with us. We're down on Radio Row. He obviously, being more of a reporter, was in all of the press availabilities. He tweeted this out. Bill Belichick held 3 availabilities that I, meaning Brian Murphy, was present for at ACC kickoff. He spoke many words, not mentioned Michael Lombardi. He might have spoken about Lombardi and other avails that Brian Murphy wasn't at, but he didn't get asked about Lombardi nor bring him up unprompted. There was literal no talk about the general manager at ACC kickoff, which took place not that long ago. Now he's on paid administrative leave. And just to add a little bit of additional context, I guess, Pablo Torre finds out. He's done quite a bit of reporting on the Bill Belichick saga around the Carolina Tar Heels. Pablo Torre tweeted this: breaking, in addition to the Mike Lombardi HR matter, the University of North Carolina football team is also being investigated by the College Sports Commission, the entity which handles compliance and enforcement of NCAA and NIL rules. You're going to hear a lot about this. The thing that Bill Belichick was most known for when he was having all of his just unprecedented success at the NFL level was eliminating distractions. He refused to let anything other than what's important now, do your job, making football the priority. He refused to let anything else eat up even an ounce of oxygen within that facility. Since he has shown up at Carolina, he has not been able to do that. So, even things that don't necessarily fall under, you blame directly to Belichick, they've been allowed to expand into bigger and bigger and bigger distractions. It's one of the most jarring things about the entire year plus that he has been the leader of the Carolina program. And the exaggerations are there, but goodness, do your job. No, actually, don't do your job, and we'll pay you while you're gone because you're being investigated. Don't do your job. Go home. Leave your key. Thanks, Lombardi. That's number one. Let's get to number two.
Number two.
Panthers training camp rolls on. Panthers training camp rolls on. Panthers training camp rolls on. Practices over the weekend. Clips being dispersed. Let's all make sure we don't fall for we haven't even put pads on hype yet. Xavier Legette without pads, he's impressing again. Xavier Legette looks good in shorts and a t-shirt. He can move, he can run, he can jump. I'm not saying this won't be some kind of breakout year for him, but I am not going to watch him in shorts and a t-shirt, just helmets, making catches or not making catches and act like it decides anything. I know too many football players that look great till you put the pads on. I know too many football players that can make catches till there's the risk of getting hit once they do so. So I guess I also have to say the same thing for Chris Brazzell. I also have to say the same thing for Jalen Coker. I also have to say, nobody is changing my opinion of them yet. The only thing, and I've said this a million times, the only thing that I take away from these early practices are people that look healthy that weren't, or people that look unhealthy that I thought were. Jonathan Brooks continues to look healthy. I like when everybody else is, not everybody else, but a lot of different sources independently are coming to the same conclusion. And it seems like everybody that takes in a Panthers training camp practice feels the need to tweet out or post or put in their, 10 observations of training camp articles. Jonathan Brooks looks like he's moving pretty good. Right? So that's not just somebody who, it has a confirmation bias and has said Jonathan Brooks is a superhero and is watching him going, oh, he looks great. That's coming from a lot of different sources. So I'll take that one to the bank. And by that, I mean, I will actually believe that he is as healthy as he's been since he's been a Carolina Panther. Not that he's going to rewrite the record book, just that he's as healthy as he has been since he hurt his knee against Texas, however many years ago that was, or with Texas, playing for Texas in college, however many years ago that was. That's number 2. How about number 3?
Number 3.
The Stanford football team might be revolutionizing college sports. The Stanford football team, by the way, I've seen this reported a few different ways. They are not yet petitioning to unionize. But what they have done is formed a campus chapter of the College Football Players Association, which is an organization that aims to eventually unionize college athletes. Right? So it's not them saying we want to be employees, we want to be a union, we want to be able to collectively bargain. It's them saying we would like to be a part of the group who aims to one day do all of those things. Okay? So it's a little bit different. But it's footsteps down the hallway, right? If you're the NCAA, Stanford football players trying to make that, by the way, go ACC, Stanford football players making their opinions known on that is one of the bigger steps you can have towards potentially college football players being deemed employees, college football players being deemed unionizable. I don't know if that's a word. And college football players being able to collectively bargain. I have long said, and I'm not unique in this, there are many people in this camp, but I've been a steadfast member of this camp, that the silver bullet for college sports is the ability to collectively bargain. Because right now the NCAA likes to make rules and likes to be told by the NCAA that they can't be enforced. But as soon as they are collectively bargained, they can be enforced. And that's really all you need. Then when coaches complain about tampering, you have the Players Association join with the NCAA, have an investigation, and you can actually put it you can de-incentivize it. Because right now, you get caught tampering, you get caught talking to a player who's on another team. What happens? Nothing. You get the player most of the time. There's no reason not to. So Stanford, by the way, I think they're the perfect team to do it because you need to be ridiculously well-funded and lawyered up. And Stanford traditionally has more of that going around campus than most schools. Yep. And on top of that, you need to be a big enough brand like that it matters, right? Remember Northwestern tried to do it a couple years ago, handful of years ago. It's just like you start talking Northwestern football, nobody's like, ooh, scary. Stanford's got some history. Andrew Luck is a part of that program still. They've got some things going on.
John Elway.
I mean, a ton of John Lynch, a ton of players that have made their name in football and are still involved in the game somehow.
Christian McCaffrey.
Toby Gerhardt. What happened to Toby Gerhardt?
Yeah,
Bryce
Toby
Love.
Gerhardt. Bryce Love right here from North Carolina, right here from Wake Forest.
They had a run. Jim Harbaugh. I know he didn't play there, but he was coach. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is like I said, it steps down the hallway, right? It's the horror movie for the NCAA where they're like hiding in a closet. The monster's still on the other side of the house, but they're wearing like tap shoes. You can hear them coming. They are. It's one of the first steps towards really scaring the NCAA into doing the appropriate thing and letting players have a seat at the table for negotiations. Letting might not be the right word. Being forced to have the players grab a seat at the negotiation table. That is the Big 3 at 3, presented by Maynard Service Company, heating, cooling, plumbing, electric work. MaynardServices.com, MAYNOR Services.com. Michael Lombardi, paid administrative leave from North Carolina football. He is their general manager. It is an HR issue. What does this mean for the Tar Heels at whole? I'll tell you next.
Worried about car repair costs? Relax. Meineke has you covered with flexible financing solutions customized especially for you. For tires, brakes, engine repairs, and more, you can trust Meineke to get you safely back on the road now and in the future with multiple payment solutions available. No worries. Meineke will make it easy for you. Each Meineke is independently owned and operated. Schedule an appointment today by visiting Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
If you have a 2, 3, or 4% mortgage rate, don't refinance it. You don't have to, but you can still get cash out of your home. Introducing Loan Pronto's zero-cost equity loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. That's right. With Loan Pronto, you can get all the cash you need without touching your first mortgage and without any fees. One local homeowner just got $100,000, paid off all their credit cards, paid off their existing HELOC, remodeled their kitchen, and saved over $1,500 per month. It gets better. There's no hard credit pull up front, usually no appraisal, no long drawn-out process, and listen, no closing costs. You may be able to even skip your next 2 house payments. Call Loan Pronto now. Leave your low-rate mortgage intact, but get the cash you need in as little as 2 weeks without paying closing costs. LoanPronto.com. See how much you can get right now. Call 919-381-1760. That's 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. For qualified homeowners, equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. If you're just tuning in, earlier today, Carolina Tar Heels football general manager Michael Lombardi has been placed on paid administrative leave by the university. It is a HR issue, according to reports. There are reports that it stems from a complaint from a former member of the team. Obviously, we don't know what happened. We don't know what's being alleged. We don't know what's being investigated with specifics.
By the way, not former member of the team, like an actual player.
Of the front office, I guess.
Yes, former front office staff employee. They were clear on that.
The official release from the school says the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill has placed Michael Lombardi, general manager for the Carolina football program, on paid administrative leave, effective immediately. As is standard procedure with personnel matters, leadership, staff, and student athletes are prohibited from addressing this topic further and has no reflection on the merits. That's how it was described. So there's still an ample amount of unknown. Okay, I want that to be clear. But there are some things we can pair from it. Oh, and again, if you're just tuning in, Pablo Torre of the Pablo Torre Finds Out podcast and previously with many different publications, tweeted this: breaking. In addition to the Mike Lombardi HR matter, the University of North Carolina football team is also being investigated by the College Sports Commission, the entity which handles compliance and enforcement of NCAA and NIL rules. Here's where I am with this Carolina Tar Heels program. To use a sports analogy about a sports situation, there are certain players that seem to just always get hurt. And also, each individual injury doesn't seem like a big deal. There are like freak accidents, right? Like, oh, he broke his leg because there was a cheap shot. And then he tore this, but he was it was rainy and bad turf, and then all this and none of this. And it's like, even if none of them, like, they're all freak accidents, some guys are just injury prone. And you just look around and go, that's just him. He's just injury prone. There's a lot of things that have happened to, that have happened because of, that have happened around this Carolina Tar Heels football program since Bill Belichick took over, and not all of them are Bill Belichick's fault. Some of them seem to be directly related to Bill Belichick. Some of them are indirectly related, and some of them I'm not sure if he has any connection. But it's a drama-prone program under Bill Belichick. Remember, there was a WRAL report about all of the different players on Carolina that were getting caught recklessly driving, and they're all have, just a ton, not all. Let me be clear. It felt like all. There are a lot of driving infractions by players within the program. I don't know if that's the head coach's fault. Like, what is he supposed to do? Teach him how to play cover two, teach him how to run down on punt, teach him how to drive. Like, it's not his purview, but it happened. Right? But it happened. Now you have your general manager, who is a player or a person he hired, so it's indirectly related, but if without knowing the infraction, it could have been something completely unrelated to Bill Belichick. But it happened. There's so many things that have added up, and without it all, like every single detail, I don't know who to blame. But what I do know is drama-prone programs don't usually have success. Teams that are always caught up in the tabloids, teams, coaches, players that are always, flirting with being punished for something, they very, very rarely have success, and usually that ends up being the downfall of even really, really good, already proven coaches, teams, and programs. And then you have to look at your role in it, right? There's a legendary quote, and I have it here in front of me. It's from Al Davis, the old owner of the Raiders, the late owner of the Raiders, one of the premier personalities in all of professional and sports in general. And he had previously hired and employed Mike Lombardi. Al Davis on Mike Lombardi in 2008. Direct quote, this came from the Associated Press. Mike Lombardi has been fired from every job he's ever had. Every job. He can't get a job. Last year, he was fired from a job he was working for nothing. He was fired from Denver. But he does have ability. He does have some ability. End quote. It's from Al Davis, one of his bosses. I don't know, a reference of some kind. Like, you have to look, if something's not working and it's someone you hired, you have to look into why you hired him. Pablo Torre, again, the same one I referenced earlier, has done a deep dive into Michael Lombardi's past, and Torre showed some facts that maybe there's some embellishment on previous roles that he has had. Whether you believe it or not, you can go check it out, the entire reporting by Pablo Torre. There's a lot of things like that. Maybe you should have seen some things coming. Maybe. Or perhaps they're all freak isolated incidents and you're just injury prone. You're just drama prone. And I keep coming back to this. I think it was last Wednesday, my first show of the week last week, which was my first show back after ACC kickoff. I listed like the one takeaway from Duke, Carolina, and State at ACC kickoff. And my takeaway for Carolina was, I don't think the secrecy is going to help you. When there's 17 head coaches at the ACC kickoff and 16 of them come down to speak to everybody on Radio Row, and the one that doesn't is Bill Belichick. I didn't think the secrecy was going to help you, because occasionally how things are framed are going to set expectations for you. Andy Staples of On3 tweeted this out earlier, and with it was a quote tweet, I guess is the way to say it. It was a quote tweet of what he was quoting was all of the reporting that Michael Lombardi had hit the paid leave, okay? This was Andy Staples of On3's observation. Not sure I remember the last piece of college football breaking news where so many people, from fans to people in the football business, reacted with this much glee. End of tweet. Think about that. A general manager gets put on paid administrative leave, and a journalist is going, I've never seen everybody unanimously respond with glee like this. Sometimes you need friends in the industry. And friends might not even be the right word. Just people who respect the way you've dealt with them in the past. And it might not be right? Maybe we should treat everybody right or this exact same way in the media, whether they've been a jerk to us or whether they've done us favors. Maybe. But human nature is human nature. I don't know anybody that's like, wait, let's give Carolina the benefit of the doubt. They've always been upfront with us in the past. They've always, no. It's actually like, well, they're hiding something because they won't talk to any of us. It might not be right, but it's the way the world works. Glee. Can you imagine? You have one of the worst days of your professional career. You're embarrassed. Who knows what's going on as far as worries and what the investigation's going into and everything else. And you have to see everybody react with glee. You really got to look into how you're operating. What have you done to elicit that type of response? And this can't be the time where you're like, outside noise, we block it out. It's like, no, you don't. Nobody does that much. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. If you have thoughts, don't worry. We want to hear them, just not right this moment. We are doing a Monday sound-off where we will open up the phone lines for whatever you want to talk about. Yes, that could be Michael Lombardi on paid administrative leave, the Bill Belichick era. Could also be Panthers, could be Canes. Could be college basketball, college football of any kind. That's Monday sound off. We will open up the Heister Automotive Group hotline at about 4:15 today. We'd want to hear from as many of you as possible, so make sure you're there and make sure you have your dialing fingers ready. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. When we come back, speaking of the college sports world, it's not all negative. We pass around some Dean's List honors. Up next.
Yeah, can you pass me a Baja?
A what?
Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Try it. It's tropical at first, then the lime flavor hits.
Oh, okay. That's crisp. Tastes like vacation.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And it's mine now.
Have a Baja Blast.
Right now at Circle K, buy a 20-ounce Mountain Dew and get another for just $1. Do the Dew at Circle K today.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You push yourself in everything you do, scanning headlines for insights, keeping an eye on the market. Robinhood puts you in control of your money, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
It's summertime, and Aleve is here to keep you on the go. Whether it's planes, trains, or automobiles, Aleve's got your back with up to 12 hours of back pain relief. With just one dose, you'll get to your destination and be ready for your next adventure. So pack your sunscreen, your shades, and your Aleve. No matter where your final stop, Aleve will keep you moving. From sunup to sundown, Aleve's got your back this summer. Feel Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
My Lowe's Pro Rewards members, save big during Lowe's Pro Savings Days. Get your member volume discount plus an extra 5% off eligible orders with a quote of $2,000 or more. And buy more and save more with up to 20% off in-stock molding when you spend $250 or more. Members get more at Lowe's. Valid through 7/31. Exclusions, more terms, and restrictions apply. Can't be combined with any contract or special pricing. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit the Pro Desk or Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
This hour of The Drive is brought to you by Law Tigers. Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call Law Tigers before you contact your insurance company. Case evaluations are always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. You want to sing, Dennis? Dennis is lip-syncing aggressive right now. No? All right. Don't forget
Danzig out there.
Don't forget Monday Sound Off 4:15.
If you want to find help.
There he is. You don't have to call in and sing. You can call in and just give us your sports takes on Monday.
You are allowed to call in and sing. I want someone to call in and sing. I want that to happen today.
Hey, that you can solicit that one. I don't like putting people on the spot
right now.
Monday Sound Off
drive,
today at 4:15.
A little karaoke. Let's go.
I used to in a previous show of mine, we used to do little bets with the producer, and whoever lost had to sing like 10 seconds of a song a cappella, as chosen by But then it's no longer a good bet if you're too excited about it. And it was because he was just really shy, and it was funny. But either way, Monday Sound Off coming up at 4:15. In the meantime, let's go ahead and run into the Dean's List. All right, get a little business done, but it's also part of the Dean's List. Dean's List, potentially you. If you want to see the next generation, probably not you.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't think we're allowed. I don't think we're eligible to win, but we'll probably be there anyway. Potentially you, if you want to see the next generation of college sports stars coming out of the Triangle. Right now, if you text keyword BALL, B-A-L-L, to 919-860-5326, you'll be entered for a chance to win a pair of tickets to High School OT's Jamboree at Wake Med Soccer Park on August 8th. This is a high school football jamboree. Some of the top recruits in the area, some of the top recruits in the state will be participating. Some really good teams. It should be really, really fun. If you're into that sort of thing, if you love the Friday night lights, if you love, or you want to get perhaps your children hooked on idolizing the high school athletes like so many of us did when we were in elementary school, middle school. High School OT's Jamboree at Wake Med Soccer Park. It's at Wake Med Soccer Park, but it's a American football event. August 8th. If you text keyword BALL, B-A-L-L, to 919-860-5326, we just might give you a couple tickets to go check it out.
I do know, if you go to highschoolot.com, you can see all the teams and schools that are participating in that. But I do know here in the Triangle that there's some top 50 recruits in the country that are here in the Triangle, some other top 100, top 150 guys. I mean, there's guys committed to Notre Dame. I mean, there's
Miami.
There's some dudes around here.
We could say that every year, but this year is also included. We could say a lot. I mean, just a lot of really good athletes come out of the area, and they will be some of them. Quite a bit of them will be at the Jamboree.
So, they're on the Dean's List?
Well, whoever wins gets to be on the Dean's List because they get to go see the next generation of great college athletes out of the area.
Okay, that's fair.
More Dean's List. You'll know how to pronounce his name better. Singer-songwriter Noah Kahn. Did I get that right?
I think so.
All right.
He played at Carter Finley the other day.
He played Carter Finley on Saturday, and he knew, I think, exactly how to get Carter Finley on his side. You can find the clip online. So, he actually said it. Into the microphone, Carter Finley Stadium, obviously home of the Wolfpack. He said, NC State is better than Duke and UNC. Crowd goes wild. That's just...
Hey, there you go.
I mean, it might be pandering a little bit, but
you think?
But it's a good little thing. Good little get the crowd riled up. I'm sure some were booing, some were cheering, right? Because apparently he's a really big deal. I didn't realize how popular that guy was. He's doing stadiums.
Yeah. He kind of came on hot pretty recently, from my understanding.
But either way, I hope he has somebody that gets to all of the cities he's going to tour and just surveys the local sports scene and gives him a couple rivalry things to say, as his bassist retunes his instrument or something like that. He's just give me a couple rivalry things to get him all riled up. He threw it out there. It's kind of funny. NC State retweeted it, by the way, or tweeted out like the quote. It's a good little game there. I like using college sports as a way to get the people going. Dennis, do you have any Dean's Listers you would like to toss in here?
I'm going to throw Stanford football on the Dean's List.
Explain why.
Again, because the players are starting a fraternity, again, with the College Football Players Association. No, I can't remember the CFBPA. Basically, going to move that, again, eventually pave the way for them to unionize.
It is College Football Players Association is what it's called, and it is a organization which aims to eventually unionize college athletes.
So I like the approach that they're doing it. They're starting a fraternity in association with them. I think this is like you said it earlier. We're headed in the direction, in my opinion, where I think football, from power conference standpoint, breaks away from the NCAA. I think that's what we're going to see, and I think in that sense, you're going to see basically at all the schools in the power conference are going to have a fraternity, and that's how things are going to be organized in that regard. But also, schools can sit there and say, "Hey, we generated X amount of dollars of revenue from football directly," because I think media rights will be separated and all that kind of stuff from what they are currently. But nonetheless, I think this is where this is all headed. And I think Stanford, kudos to them for being proactive with it as opposed to being reactive and wait and see. Stanford's being proactive, so I'm going to put them on the Dean's List for that.
Here's the way I think they're doing it. I think they want their entire plan of action completely ironed out. So, like, once they do it, it's boom, 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 boom. We want to unionize. We want this. Here's why. Here's this. Here's our lawyer. Here's this. Blah, blah, blah. They're getting there. And it's Stanford. I've talked with some Stanford players. They're impressive most of the time. I jokingly say, like, is everyone talking about startups and, like, venture capital in the locker room? And they go, like, ha, ha, ha. No, yeah, that's exactly what we do. It was started as a joke and got into, like, well, I have a few investments. Some of my buddies are starting a little firm. And I'm like, oh, it's the stereotypes are the stereotypes for a reason. More Dean's List. How about App State and Duke football?
Okay.
ESPN and Bill Connolly, who's a legendary college football writer, put together 100 games that explain college football in 2026. So it's 100 games throughout history that basically, like, have made college football what it is today. No games from Carolina or State are in the 100 games, but Duke and App State are represented.
Okay.
Would you like to know which games?
I'm assuming the App State-Michigan game?
Number 54 is September 1st, 2007.
Nice.
App State 34, number 5, Michigan 32. Right, one of the most famous upsets in history.
We actually have a picture in our hallway from that game.
I also, maybe I knew this and I forgot it. That was the very first game on the Big Ten Network.
It was.
It was game number 1 on the Big Ten Network. Was potentially the worst loss in Big Ten history. That's got to be an omen or something.
Hey, ratings. What can I say?
And then number 94, so a good bit behind that, just barely on the list. October 31st, 2015, Miami against number 22 Duke. The ridiculous pitchy woo-woo play.
Oh, yeah, all the laterals and everything.
Where they were obviously not – it was Miami should not have won. The player's knee was down and had the ball, but it was, the replays and everything weren't quite there yet, and Duke ended up losing the game. But it's one of the games that shaped college football because it's one of those games that made it so everyone went, I feel like we should be able to review more. I feel like if there's a play that decides the game and it's obvious and it's a crazy play where the refs can't watch everything because there's 22 people all over the field, like maybe we should be able to take a gander. So Duke's, I don't know, pain helped shape college football. Carolina and State, not on the list, like I said. So App State and Duke get the nod. More Dean's List. Let's put college basketball fans.
Okay. We have a lot of those around here.
100 days to the first real game of college basketball. As of today. 100 days out.
Gosh, to college basketball, not even football, college basketball.
College basketball. I feel like we don't get we get the 100-day countdowns to football because there's less going on. We don't get the 100-day countdowns to basketball because we're still chomping at the bit for the last, couple of weeks before football. But 100 days to college basketball. Shout out to you, college basketball fans. The wait is within reach, double digits by tomorrow.
And we're 33 days now until basically 33 days until first college football game, which includes State and Carolina.
That first day, week 0.
First day,
yeah. I was like, wait, no, they're not playing. That should have been the Brazil game. A couple of more here. How about former NC State offensive lineman Joe Thuney? He made the top 100, NFL top 100. He's an offensive lineman. Number 49 on the list. He's one of the top 50 players in the NFL, according to his peers right now. But I do think he needs to be potentially discussed a bit more. I mean, if he retired today, he might be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I think he's a lock to get in.
You ready for the resume?
Go on.
Because saying it out loud makes it feel real. Four-time Super Bowl champ. Twice with Tom Brady's Patriots, twice with Mahomes' Chiefs. Good place to be in history. Last year, he was the NFL Protector of the Year, which is a new award they put out for basically acknowledging like offensive linemen are never in the running for Offensive Player of the Year. So they've gone Protector of the Year to make sure they have a chance to win an award. He won it. 3-time first-team All-Pro, 2023 through 2025. 2-time second-team All-Pro, 2019, 2022. 4-time Pro Bowler, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. And we could go into All-American and All-ACC and everything in college at State, but that doesn't get added into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I think he might be a Hall of Famer. Doesn't get talked about enough with the great offensive linemen of this era. And then last one, I'll put Illinois football and basketball. Reports are out there. Illinois has finalized a 5-year, $30 million jersey patch advertisement deal with Busey Bank. I don't know anything about Busey Bank, so maybe advertising's working. I've already talked about it here on air. The agreement, which was brokered by Learfield, is among the most significant in the country. I mean, 5 years, $30 million? A little $6 million a year? Remember what the Big 12 sold? For $1.5 million per team. They sold the name of the Big 12, logos on every football and basketball court, and at least a collaborative logo on every jersey for football and basketball, both men's and women's basketball, for about $1.5 million per team. This gets $6 million for just a logo on your jersey. It's good business. I like it. I like it, Illinois. I don't like Illinois, but I like that Illinois.
Well, Busey Bank is headquartered in Champaign, Illinois, which is where obviously the University of Illinois is located.
I feel like the people that are going to be the diehards watching everything Illinois already know about you if you're located in
Hey, I don't know about them.
That's true. No, I was going to say, if it's to get us, they've already done it. I now know what Busey Bank is. It's a bank in Champaign, Illinois. Good business. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. If we missed anything, you can let us know during Monday Sound Off. We'll open up the phone lines around 4:15. Monday Sound Off. We want to hear from you. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. You may not know it yet, but you also want to hear about Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry and Fox and Bailey Watch Shop, which is a watch shop located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location. It's a space that pays tributes to the early days of Bailey's Fine Jewelry. And I also like paying tribute to the early days of luxury timepieces, which is why pre-owned and vintage Rolex are such a big part of their selection. It's why Glashütte Original, it's why Blanc Pons, it's why Omegas are such a big part of their selection, because these aren't companies that are like, oh, yeah, new hotness. These are companies that are like, you want to talk centuries of luxury timepiece making? We can talk 100+ years. They've been doing it for a long time, and because of that, there's so many different options, and there's so many things to know. What's the difference between a Rolex made in 93 and a Rolex made in 2001? You're going to want to know that if you're dropping a chunk of change on it. The Fox and Bailey Watch Shop, Bailey's Fine Jewelry, and their employees want to help you learn everything. They are experts, and they will answer all of your questions. By the way, follow them on Instagram, Fox and Bailey Watch Shop on Instagram. You can jump in their DMs, ask questions. They respond quickly. They respond with all the expertise I've promised you. It's Bailey's Fine Jewelry, Fox and Bailey Watch Shop, located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry, their Village District location. When you call them, when you DM them, when you talk to them in person, let them know you heard about it from me, Tim, right here on 99.9 The Fan. Up next, we have winners and losers. We'll play that game coming up.
It's bow time. Ordering Bojangles Bow Bites is the easiest choice you'll make today. The bite-sized hand-breaded chicken is fried to crispy perfection, making it perfect for sharing, snacking, or when you're on the go. Just don't call it a nugget. The only hard part is choosing from our 6 dipping sauces. We've got a sauce for every kind of craving, from our creamy house-made ranch to our sweet and spicy peach honey pepper sauce. It all depends on what kind of mood you're in. Head to your nearest Bojangles today and discover the dippable, shareable, and craveable Bow Bites. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to head on over to Bojangles to try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. Bite-sized hand-breaded chicken fried to crispy perfection. On the go, they're perfect for snacking or sharing. Dipped in your favorite sauce like creamy house-made ranch or peach honey pepper, they're the perfect way to satisfy your craving for flavor and value. Try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. It's an easy choice to make when it's bow time.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar. The better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. So good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Stop by Refuel and get 25 cents off per gallon when you buy 2 20-ounce Pepsi Zero Sugars with Refuel Rewards.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Happy Monday, everybody. New week. Go ahead and make it work for you. All right, let's jump into the game that we are scheduled to play. It is a game that we do every Monday called Winners and Losers.
This team will never lose again.
Now we're talking aura, we're talking vibes. Anyone can look at the box score and say, oh, that team won, but it takes our special gifts to decide who won and lost the last week off aura and vibes. Winner, I'll start. The Philadelphia 76ers. LeBron James for $4 million a year. His like in the NBA rankings of salary, he comes in nestled right between 30-year-old journeyman Devontae Green and just above Pat Connaughton of the Charlotte Hornets, who is there strictly for vibes. He's just a locker room good dude. They release him and bring him back like twice a year because he means something to them and they're pretty confident no one else is going to sign him away. And he's getting essentially the same amount of money as LeBron James this year for the Philadelphia 76ers. So Philly's the winner. Loser, Traquavion Smith, former NC State basketball player. He has 16 games in his NBA career. He did make the bigs, all with Philly, when he wore number 23.
Oh.
It was revealed today that LeBron James is going to be wearing 23 for the Sixers, which means, I assume like most athletes, if you make the big leagues, you get the jersey framed, you put it up in your den. Everyone's going to assume he has a LeBron James jersey framed. And it's like, no, before LeBron, that was me. There are like 35 players to wear 23 with the Sixers prior to LeBron. Kind of a bummer for all of them. So sorry, Traquavion Smith, as well as like Ersan Ilyasova and a bunch of others.
Do you think that LeBron had to pay Traquavion Smith?
No, there's actually
23.
There have been a few players that have worn it since Turk.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then never mind.
It's a very popular number.
Clearly.
Michael Jordan had something to do with that.
Did he?
Yep. Do you have some winners and losers before I roll on a few more?
I'm throwing UNC football into the losers category.
Explain why.
Do I need to? So, since Bill Belichick has taken over, it's been nothing but a circus. It's been nothing but a circus. It's one thing to be bad. It's another thing to be a clown show. And UNC has slowly eroded itself. Well, I'd say maybe slowly, but has quickly degraded down into clown show territory. It really is, which is a shame. It really is.
It's I'll actually combine our two here real quickly. So I did some radio for ESPN Radio over the weekend, and I talked to Norris Cole, who was a rookie on the first Miami Heat championship team, and then a second-year player on the next Miami Heat championship team with LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, like, what's your advice for young guys? Not basketball, not like, oh, should we run on misses? Like, what's your advice for somebody that's going to be a young player playing with LeBron James and the circus that follows him? And he gave a few things, and one of them was like, make sure your private life is squeaky clean, and if you want something private, that it is like private, because when somebody that famous is around you, people just look into everything. Any skeletons you have in your closet are going to be coming out. I feel like Carolina maybe underestimated how much the spotlight was going to just be brutal for once Bill Belichick showed up, and they didn't necessarily have all of their ducks in a row behind the scenes. So with every investigation, every deep dive of investigative journalism, there's something else there. We weren't anticipating this, but oh, look, we found this other thing that's drama related. Or oh, we found this other thing that's drama related. Oh, is the coach's girlfriend doing Freedom of Information Act requests to other people in the program? We found that. And while we were there, look at what we found from the College Sports Commission. And while we were there, look at what's going on with Michael Lombardi. And while we were there, look at all the traffic violations of the player. Like, it wasn't as buttoned up as it should be.
No, and the fact that last week we had the conversation of, hey, who's actually UNC starting quarterback going to be? There's a legit competition. And it was actually kind of nice to talk about UNC football in the sense of the actual on-field stuff, because obviously Gio Lopez left after 1 year, went to Wake Forest, and is where he is now. But it was actually kind of like, okay, I'm like, okay, I think they might lean on the veteran guy as opposed to Newkirk, the guy that got in from Wisconsin who previously played at
Billy Edwards Jr.
Yeah, Billy Edwards. I was like, he played at Maryland, then played at Wisconsin. I'm like, okay, that seems like the logical start at the beginning of the year. And then it's just kind of like, oh, we're right back to all this again.
Yep.
And here's the thing. This wasn't like journalism dirt digging type deal like TMZ going to go and find dirt. It was the actual university itself, not the athletic department, but the University of North Carolina putting out, hey, the guy that's paid $1.5 million per year is on paid administrative leave.
Yeah, I'd say they're losers, at least for the week.
Yeah.
Continuing with winners and losers. Winner, Jeff Kent, Carlos Beltran, and Andrew Jones. They were inducted in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. I know we don't have like a team in the area. We don't talk Major League Baseball a lot, but Hall of Fame, kudos, right? That's the greatest individual honor you can achieve. Loser, current MLB hitters. Jake Mizorowski, we need to talk about more. This dude, this pitcher for the Brewers, outside of being just like the fastest man alive, being able to throw a baseball harder than anyone that has ever lived is got to be one of the coolest traits. You ready for some facts, some stats for you, Dennis? Mizorowski on Sunday against the Rockies threw 66 fastballs. All were over 100 miles per hour. That's the most ever. 63 of them were over 101 miles per hour. It's the most ever. 54 of them were over 102 miles per hour. It's the most ever. 33 of them were over 103 miles an hour. Most ever. 7 of them were over 104 miles per hour.
Bruh.
Most ever.
That's insane.
No pitcher, I'm just getting started.
Oh, okay.
No pitcher in recorded baseball history had thrown more than 14 pitches at 103 or more miles per hour in a single big league game. He had 30 in the first 4 innings of the game yesterday against the Rockies.
I'm sorry, one more time for the people in the back on that one. I want to hear that one again.
No pitcher in recorded baseball history had thrown more than 14 pitches at 103 miles per hour or faster in a single big league game. Jacob Mizorowski threw 30 of them in the first 4 innings yesterday.
Good Lord.
As of 2 months ago, no pitcher had ever thrown 50 pitches over 100 miles per hour in a single Major League Baseball game. 2 months ago, it had never happened. He's done it 7 times in the last 2 months.
Goodness.
Last one for you. Strikeout pitches. The fastest strikeout pitches by starters in the pitch tracking era. So it started in 2008 when we started tracking every single pitch. He has the 26 fastest strikeout pitches by starters consecutively. He has 1 through 26, and they range between 102.7 miles per hour and 104.5 miles per hour. He threw 104.5 at somebody facing 2 strikes. This dude is like that. Like if you're a 9-year-old, like just throwing hard at miles per hour on the gun is one of the coolest things you can do. He does it harder than anyone and more consistent than anyone, and he's not a closer. So MLB hitters that have to dig in, good luck.
I shot a lacrosse ball in 94 one time. That's a changeup for him, apparently.
Literally. Like that's not.
Yeah,
literally, a changeup would be like 94. He's got off-speed stuff that gets down to like 92.
Oh, just down to 92. I think Greg Maddux threw like 94 as like the fastest pitch he ever threw. But Jacob Mizorowski is only 24 years old. My concern when I hear that, I'm like, I just hope his arm holds up. The arm and shoulder, it's the only thing I hope happens.
They're pretty strict, it seems like, from what I read today with pitch limits, so they don't let him go deep into games. But also, I think you might just go, hey, listen, man, plan at some point in the next 5 years to take 20 months and recover from Tommy John. Like, it's just going to happen. So let him fly while you can. You know what I mean? All right, let's get to one more here, just because it's a theory that I'm floating. Loser, Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald, loser?
Loser.
Don't tell him that.
Yeah, well, hopefully it doesn't get to him. It appears all signs are pointing towards him making a return for the Rams.
Yeah, at some point this season, yeah.
You know how like people get real mad when players put together super teams? They just get their buddies and go join a team. I think this might be worse. He was literally like, I'm not going to play until the Rams became the biggest betting favorite to win the Super Bowl when they traded for Myles Garrett. Biggest betting favorite to win the Super Bowl since like the 2007 Patriots or whatever it was. And he's now like, you know what? I think I will play. As long as I'm never going to get double teamed because Myles Garrett is on the other side and the offense is the number 1 offense in the league, maybe I'll consider coming out of retirement. Isn't that like the ultimate? I just don't want to work as hard as I'll play if it's easy. Like that's why I think everyone just likes Aaron Donald, so you don't bring stuff like that up because he, like deadlifts a semi-truck or something. Like, because each dumbbell on his dumbbell bench press is like as much as like a mid-sized sedan. It just seems weird that he's sitting around and then he's like, oh, I get to play with Myles Garrett? Yeah, I'll play. You weren't otherwise? You're going to chill? I don't like it.
Well, he's been sitting out for a couple years.
He's been out 2 years, exactly.
Hey, he might just have that itch to play again. He's got to get his body in shape.
Just coincidence that as the Rams become a Monstars level team, he's like, oh, I do have that itch.
He could have done it last year.
They weren't as good last year, so he was
got to an NFC Championship.
Nah, I'm out.
He's got a Super Bowl ring. I think he's fine.
I'm just if other players, athletes that already have championships kind of go pair up with all the best, they get a hard time. Just saying. Be consistent with your takes out there, people. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. In the next hour, we'll hit a little Monday sound off. Maybe someone can call in and defend Aaron Donald if you want to do that. You can call in with anything you want. That's at about 4:15. Before that, we got to hit some football at 4, and that's what we'll do next.
Hi, friends. This is Mark Pons from Chapel Hill Tire. I get it. You don't wake up excited to schedule car maintenance. Between work, school, family activities, and everything else life throws your way, it can be tough to find the time. That's why I'm excited to share that our University Place and Crabtree locations are open Saturdays from 8 to 5. Now you'll have one more option for taking care of your vehicle. Schedule your Saturday appointment today at chapelhilltire.com and drive happy.
Drip Drop is doctor-developed, proven fast hydration that helps your body and mind work better. Trusted by firefighters, medical professionals, and over 90% of top college and pro sports teams. Drip Drop is engineered to hydrate faster and more effectively than water alone. With 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks, Stock up now at dripdrop.com and use promo code RADIO20 for 20% off your first order. That's dripdrop.com, promo code RADIO20.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
When sleep isn't working, everything feels harder. Your health, your patience, your focus, even your relationships. I'm Megan Giggling with Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Too often, people are told to wait months or even years just to talk to a sleep specialist, but untreated sleep problems don't wait. At Parkway, care begins within weeks with home sleep studies and fast coordinated support so people can move forward instead of staying stuck. Better sleep changes everything.
Parkway Sleep, your fastest path to better sleep. Start today at parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep, sound health.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Canes light the lamp here.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. It's a warm and muggy afternoon for us. High temperature 88 degrees and a small chance for storms in our eastern counties and closer to the coast. Overnight lows are in the low 70s under mainly cloudy skies. And tomorrow is a WRAL weather alert day. It'll be partly cloudy through the afternoon with a hot high of 90. But during the evening and overnight, we'll have a chance of storms that could produce damaging wind.
4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 243 points to 52,190.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for football at 4 because it's almost exactly 4 o'clock. Football 4 is brought to you by John Heister, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Get off your keister and come to Heister. So the Carolina Panthers, speaking of no distractions, they have a lot they have to deal with, right? They've got to get their rookies ready. They got to get guys healthy. They have to work in a new play caller, Brad Idzik. They have to help Bryce Young take the next step. They got a lot on their plate. Now they have also an investigation they have to deal with. Yeah. Nick Scorton's injury, something they have to deal with just in a football sense. They have to replace one of their younger, more exciting players. Now the NFL Players Association is investigating the situation. I'll give you some more details here. On the first day of the 2026 training camp practice, Panthers linebacker Nick Scorton suffered a season-ending ACL tear. We've talked about that. It's a bummer. Continuing. Given that it happened during the mandatory 5-day acclimation period, the NFL Players Association is investigating the situation. A Panthers spokesperson, according to Mike Kay of the Charlotte Observer, a Panthers spokesperson said on Sunday morning that the team is aware of the situation and will cooperate with the NFLPA. Now, there will be video that they'll look at, and basically, if you're like, what does all of this mean? There are certain levels that have been collectively bargained for training camp where, a 5-day acclimation period means no pads, no full contact, in some cases no contact, depending on where you are, meaning where you are in the process. There's some level of this at every level of football. Right, Pop Warner has to do like 2 practices in helmets only before you can put on it. Like it becomes a ramping up. Okay. Now, Dennis, you were actually at this practice.
I was. I saw the injury happen.
Was there an overt amount of contact when the injury took place?
I don't know necessarily overt is the proper term, but I will say for the fact that guys were only wearing helmets, I thought there was a little bit more contact, especially during 11-on-11 than I would probably anticipate. But I also am sitting there wondering, like, okay, guys are just probably just excited to get going and get playing. So it's also one of those things as well, is that the teams say, hey, we're doing 11 on 11 and can tell them to the extent of which they're allowed to have contact. But there's also the human nature of it, like, hey, it's like, let's go time. You know, like, we're at football practice, let's go. It's first day. You have a bunch of energy. So, yeah, but to me, there was a surprising amount of contact for guys that weren't wearing pads, but I don't know, compared to other teams around the NFL, if that was any more or any less or on par. I really can't say.
I think it's nearly impossible to run offense versus defense drills and, as a coach, keep those athletes from competing.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
If the NFLPA, and I don't know what the investigation is going to show. I don't know the exact language in the collective bargaining agreement on how much is allowed or isn't. We'll have to wait and see on the investigation. But if the NFLPA truly wants to limit or eliminate contact on the first 5 days, you have to make a rule that, like, offense and defense can't be on the same field. Like, you'd have to be like one practice field for offense, one for defense, because if like, guys are trying to earn spots. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I can't let a guy through if I'm an offensive lineman, and when the coaches yell at me, go like, no, I let him through. I'm not supposed to touch him. Like, it's a sack allowed is a sack allowed on practice film. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or the defensive lineman like, well, he touched me. I can't, go further.
The quarterbacks that wear different colored jerseys are the only people that really are untouchable in any kind of practice, regardless on what the level of contact was. I remember, I think in college, I don't know if this was just us or everybody, we had like 6 levels. We had thud, we had wrap them up, we had full contact, we had keep them on your feet, which is basically full contact, but for some reason, like, if somebody falls over, they get yelled at. We had walk through. We had like this whole levels. And to be honest with you, everybody had different interpretations of what that meant.
Mm-hmm.
Certain defensive guys, thud meant like, I'm going to tap you on your shoulder and run by you. Certain guys meant like, I'm going to stick you in the stomach and knock the air out of you, but not on the ground. Like, it's impossible. So we'll see what the NFLPA says. I think it's a tough spot for the Panthers to be in. You had a second-year player trying to, like a caged animal over the offseason, finally exploding with football energy, and you're supposed to tell him, like, whoa, chill. Great rep, though. Like, it's tough. I will say, just for some context, when Dave Canales was an assistant coach in Seattle, they dealt with similar investigations and actually came out on the wrong side of quite a few of those investigations. They had 2 violations, and then a third in 2016 brought the strongest response. In 2016, they had the investigation, said there was too much contact or whatever for the negotiated period. The NFL fined the Seahawks $400K. Pete Carroll, who was the head coach, a.k.a. Dave Canales' boss, $200K. And they stripped Seattle of a 2017 fifth-round draft pick and canceled the first 3 OTA practices the following spring. So they've got some teeth on this issue. Carroll said the flagged incident occurred during a helmetless practice when 2 players collided and suffered injuries. That's what led to that. So it's not exactly apples to apples, right? Helmets on, helmets off might change things. I don't know. It's all semantics. I don't want to say his side of the story, but for more information on it, Dave Canales, head coach Carolina Panthers, talked about the investigation, and this is what it sounded like.
Yeah, we teach the guys. We're aware that they're looking into it. We have the rules, we have the standards, we let them know, and I think from there, it's kind of more of a Bruce question just in terms of what's happening and what questions might be asked. But all we can do is really just lay the groundwork out, show the guys good examples of what it looks like, and then go from there.
Have you ever been through a process like that before where the PA or maybe the NFL looked into something that you guys had done in practice?
Yeah, we had a couple, just in Seattle, we had a couple of situations where, they were pretty critical of what we were doing in our practices. We had to adjust, and there might have been some fines thrown out there and, OTA practice or something lost. But, I think that was kind of early on. Really, it was after 2011. Sometime when the CBA and they all got together and kind of said, hey, here's the modes. And we learned, we grew. And so fortunately for me, coming into, my first time being a head coach in the last couple of years, I've had history and experience with how to do it and how to educate the guys by showing great examples of what we're looking for.
It's tough. again, I think it's a tough situation. I also think it's hilarious that they look into this after a major injury. Like Nick Scorton is done for the season. Now they're going to investigate how. You know what's a really, really good punishment for being too physical in a non-padded practice? Nick Scorton being out for the season. Like that, you're gonna tack something on top of that. That's brutal. I'm not saying they will, but they have the opportunity to, and they're investigating. I almost think to really like enforce these rules, you got to do like I feel like this is a lacrosse thing, but it could be completely wrong, Dennis. So correct me on this. Like at every dead ball or at like halftime, they just check randomly like one guy's stick to see the depth of the pocket. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, stick check.
So it's just like you do a spot check, and you don't check everybody, but you make everybody know like it could be you. I almost think like every day during training camp, once the NFL, like the entire NFL is open, they should just say like, Panthers, send us hour 2 of your practice, every bit of film.
Mm-hmm.
Just to check up, right? And we're going to tell you whether it's okay, rather than waiting for Nick Scorton to get hurt. Now you're investigating. It's like, well, goodness, we already suffered. We already lost Nick Scorton. Trust me, we're not going to have any contact for the next 2 weeks. Like, we're so terrified of losing another player. You need to get the ones that are getting away with it because they're the ones that are going to keep doing it. They haven't been punished yet. If they're being more physical, didn't suffer major injuries, those are the ones you got to stop because you can get there before the injury happens.
Yeah, well, to go back to the injury real fast, what I saw was just a guy planting his leg. That's really all it was. A guy trying to plant and trying to bend. That's all it was.
I'll tell you what weird thing the NFLPA investigation is making us all do.
What's that?
Rooting for it being a non-contact injury. Like, please have it be he just stepped funny. Please. Like non-contact injuries are normally what you don't hope for, right? It's like freak injuries happen when you get rolled up on or whatever. Now we just have to very much hope this was one of those real heartbreakers that was just tripped over the turf. Like it's a brutal, brutal way to look at it.
By the way, I've had to correct people on this one. Be like, this is the reason why they got to have grass fields. I was like, well, they practice on grass fields.
True.
Like it was a grass field.
I was just saying like the ground.
Oh, I know. I'm just more or less just saying, but yeah.
That is a hot button issue right now.
It really is.
World Cup got everybody talking. Oh, so you can put sod down in all of these stadiums.
Yeah.
It's possible. Only for Messi, though. Not for Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
I just to get my official opinion out there, turf was really cool when it was a novelty. I remember the first time I played on turf. You feel fast. Like you feel like you're a pro. It's like very cool. Now that it's kind of everywhere, you'd much rather play on grass.
Oh, absolutely.
It's softer. It's better for injuries. It's what you played on growing up. Like it's everything. Turf is cool for like a month. And then you just, every time you fall, you got to get these weird turf burns and it stings and it's not fun. Not fun at all. But going back to it, yes, the Panthers are being evaluated. To my knowledge, they don't have strikes against them already under this administration. So, they're hopefully a couple violations away from any kind of, draft picks being taken away or anything like that. But it's interesting. It is interesting. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here from Maynard Service Company. Heating systems, cooling systems, plumbing, electrical work. I can tell you this. This is a great time of year to recognize how strange the weather can be in North Carolina, right? What was it? The high of like 74 the other day, and it feels like not that long ago, the high was like 137. That's what it felt like to me. You want your house to be able to insulate you from that using your heating and cooling system. And you don't want them working extra hard, right? You want it to be efficient so you're not spending money unnecessarily powering those bad boys up. Maynard Service Company is there for the emergencies, right? A plumbing emergency, water coming out of your ceiling, and you didn't even know there was a bathroom on the floor above you. Like, they're there for those. They're there for the electrical disasters. They're also there just to make sure your equipment's running correctly, right? Heating systems, cooling systems. If they're being overworked, Maynard Service Company can come give them the tune-up they need, get you on a maintenance schedule, get you on a service schedule so you don't even have to think about it. Take that off your list of responsibilities and give them a call to do so. 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. Or visit them online at MaynardServices.com. That's MAYNOR Services.com. All right, everybody. The floor is yours. Monday sound off time. We are opening. That's what that sound means. We are opening up the Heaster Automotive Group hotline. Phone lines are open. You want to talk UNC football and the drama that comes with it. You want to talk NFL on the doorstep of the season getting started, talking preseason in 9 days or something like that. Also, college basketball, college football of any kind, Carolina Hurricanes, what's the trophy doing, what's the cup doing, whatever you want to talk about, Heaster Automotive Group hotline, 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. If you want to talk LeBron to Philly, I'd love to. 919-860-5326. Call in now. Monday sound off next.
Evan, Kenty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
I'm Galen, co-founder of Brooklyn Solar.
Is in the small circle of people in the know, knew that they were going to have to weather this, everyone being annoyed at the delay and the indecision. It's almost as if he's enjoying this because he knows we're all chomping at the bit for this information, and he knows that there's an internal countdown in his head being like, okay, just wait, it's going to happen here.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Yeah, can you pass me a Baja?
A what?
Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Try it. It's tropical at first, then the lime flavor hits.
Oh, okay. That's crisp. Tastes like vacation.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And it's mine now.
Have a Baja Blast.
Right now at Circle K, buy a 20-ounce Mountain Dew and get another for just $1. Do the Dew at Circle K today.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-746-0155. That's 800-746-0155. 800-746-0155.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I'm Galen, co-founder of Brooklyn SolarWorks. With my Chase Inc. Business Premier Card, I get unlimited 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more. So everything we buy to run our solar business gives us cash back that we put back into the neighborhood, donating solar panels to community gardens.
Chase Inc. Cashback built for every business. Find the right card at chase.com/inc. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is currently time for Monday Sound Off. The Heaster Automotive Group hotline is wide open, 919-860-5326. Call in with whatever piece of sports you want to talk. As I said, it could be college basketball, college football, Carolina, Michael Lombardi, paid administrative leave. Could be Carolina Hurricanes. The trophy, I believe, is in Finland, the Stanley Cup at the moment, and Sebastian Aho's a rock star over there. LeBron to Philly, WNBA All-Star Game, whatever you want to talk. First up on our Monday Sound Off is Jeff in Raleigh. Wants to talk LeBron and the Panthers. We'll see if he connects the two or if they're separate conversations. Jeff, welcome to the show. Thank you for calling in. Go ahead and sound off.
Yeah, how you guys' afternoon going? Two different things for you. One, can we quit talking about LeBron already?
Why?
I understand all the pushback I'll get for this, but he's very orchestrating, deliberate. He's a mastermind. He's letting ESPN do his PR department.
Okay.
We got his answer. NBA season's not here yet. Can we get to what interests the rest of the world in sports right now? Which
well, I am curious because you're saying the NBA season isn't here right now, and the second thing you want to talk about is the Panthers.
Yeah.
Okay. Their season's started. It's kind of the argument here. Just they're in training camp.
Yeah, that's
okay.
what I'm going
All
to get to. Let me start with that. One injury, Sporting, shouldn't derail a whole team, and that's what everyone's acting like. If that was the case, our team wasn't going anywhere anyway. We've done this several times. We've added depth to where it shouldn't be as big of a blow this time, and all we need to do is give these guys in line that would have been second or third teamers a chance, and it might be a money ball thing where two or three of them play to do what he did, and then just see what happens. And there's still the option of once everybody cuts the 53 to maybe get a upper tier pick out of that. But either way, we're not over just because one guy gets hurt. If that was the case, we had zero chance going forward.
All right, Jeff.
That's about it, man.
I appreciate the call. Don't talk about LeBron, although you did have some conspiracy theories about LeBron, so interesting. Secondly, if you guarantee me Nick Scorton's the only injury they're going to have all year and it just happened to come on day one, yeah, they're going to be fine. The issue is every player that gets hurt, especially ones that are out for the season, your depth goes down. And like, don't disrespect every other team in the NFL. Oh, if one key player derails your whole franchise, you're not that good. Well, no, they're still really, really good. The issue is other teams are too. If you took the second best edge rusher off of any team, it would have a huge impact. And if that particular position is not super deep for that team, the impact becomes bigger. Gosh forbid another edge rusher gets hurt, the impact becomes bigger, and he can't, like, you know, you could say Moton and Ike Ekwonu on the offensive side might be coming back, right? So there's a light at the end of the tunnel for your lack of depth. This year, Scorton's not coming back. It's a big deal because it's a big deal, not because it completely uproots the hope and dream that any Carolina Panthers fan has for this season. It's a big deal because the margin of victory in the NFL, or the margin of error in the NFL, is minuscule. It's tiny. It's a game of inches. Ask Al Pacino. All right, it's Monday Sound Off, Heister Automotive Group Hotline, 919-860-5326. Jeff, we appreciate your call. Call back in anytime. All of you, call back in right now, 919-860-5326. Next up, Jeb in Raleigh. Jeb, welcome to the show. Happy to hear from you. What do you got for us?
Hey, Tim, can you hear me?
We can hear you. You're on air.
All right, awesome. Yes, sir. So you actually mentioned it earlier, Aho being in Finland. My call-in was about Aho, and obviously, you know, coming off of the Cup, I wanted to ask, I know he's in the midst of his career right now, but if we're looking at Hurricanes' legacies right now, you know, love the guy, like one of my favorite Canes players ever. He also hasn't broken 90 points in a regular season. If we're looking at, you know, statistics involved, where do we see, if God forbid he doesn't get another cup with us, do we see his name in the rafters after he's retired?
Are you talking just in, like, we're talking Carolina Hurricanes rafters?
Yep,
okay.
Specific, we're talking Lenovo Center.
Okay, I'll answer this one, and thank you very much for the call. Yes, his name is going in the rafters of the Carolina Hurricanes. First of all, Sebastian Aho, not that old, which means there's a lot of on-ramp left. There are a lot of ramp left. I guess he's already on the highway. There's a lot of highway left. He's only 29 years old, and he already holds a boatload of franchise records. And he, by the time it's all said and done, I mean, it's going to feel like he owns every single franchise record. Sure, as I've brought it up a billion times, everybody's brought it up a billion times about Sebastian Aho. He doesn't have that 100-point season that so many of the ones that are above him on like all-time lists have. Some of them have like a bunch of them. What he means to the Carolina Hurricanes goes beyond the points scored. It's the leadership, it's the two-way, it's the whole thing. His name will go up in the rafters, and I hope it goes. I hope he and a few guys are up there by the time it's all said and done, because they won a cup, and I do think there's a really, really good chance in the next 5 years they'll win another or a couple more. So if you do that, it gets even more obvious.
Sebastian Aho has the third most points in a Canes uniform, and the Hartford Whalers as well. Third most points. Ron Francis leads the way with 1,175. Behind that's Eric Stahl at 775, and then Sebastian Aho's at 711. I hope he'll be, again, barring any sort of injury, he'll be second all time. By the end of this season, he'll be second all time in both points, and he's only 12 goals back of Eric Stahl for second most goals in a Canes uniform.
He's essentially 50 assists away from second behind Eric Stahl. This actually could be a fun thing here.
He can hit all those markers this upcoming season. He'll be second in goals in franchise history, second in assists, second in points. Like that all happened by the end of the season.
And he's probably a season and a couple of games away from having the lead in even strength goals over Ron Francis. Already the leader in shorthanded goals. Already the leader in game-winning goals. There's a lot that he has done, not to mention all of the postseason stuff that he has done as far as accomplishments through his age 29 season. Sebastian Aho will go in the rafters. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Heaster Automotive Group hotline open for you. Call in now, 919-860-5326. We want to hear from you. 919-860-5326.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Based off of what Jeb just had here. He asked about Aho.
Mm-hmm.
Who else currently skating in a Canes uniform will see their jersey in the rafters?
Jordan Stahl.
Yes.
That's like the free bingo square right in the middle. I think by the time it's all said and done, it'd be really hard to keep Jarvis off because he's going to be around for he's 24. Like he's going to be around forever, and he's on a long-term contract, so he's not going anywhere anytime soon for sure. There's some projection on some guys. I think Slavin
gets up there.
Even without all of the obvious production, right? Not a point producer, but by the time it's all said and done, his impact will be crazy.
And he should retire a Kane as well.
And just being, like this. It was an article I was reading today.
Mm-hmm.
Call in 919-860-5326 if you want to sound off. I'll try to make this quick, and we'll get back to the calls. ESPN had the article on the 2011 NFL draft class and how they might be the best defensive draft class in NFL history. It's J.J. Watt, it's Richard Sherman, it's Cameron Hayward, it's Cameron Jordan.
Yeah, Cam Jordan.
There's Patrick Peterson. It's an unbelievable draft class. And they were talking about Richard Sherman, and they basically said he's going to be the representative of the Legion of Boom. They're like, if you're part of a great defense, somebody or some of them are making it into the Hall of Fame, because you can't have a nickname defense and not have anyone in the Hall of Fame. So Cam Chancellor doesn't look like it. Earl Thomas, probably not. So he's got to go in as like the representative of the Legion of Boom. There will be a jersey, maybe a couple jerseys that go up into the rafters for the Carolina Hurricanes as like the representatives of the last 10 years of Canes hockey that have turned everything around and led to the cup, right? Like, it's just a great team needs to have a couple names up in the rafters. I think Aho, Stahl, Slavin, they can do it, right? There's your representatives. Anybody else beyond that, I hate to say this, but is going to have to like earn it more on an individual basis. They're not going to get that team has to be represented, so put them up there. So Jarvis is going to have another 6 30-goal seasons, right? He's going to have to do that for a while. There's going to have to be, or a couple 40-goal seasons. Don't stop there. There's going to have to be more. I mean, who knows on players like Jackson Blake and Logan Stankoven? Like, is it worth even projecting at that point? Because it's so much of it is projection. But there'll be a group of them up there in the rafters. They'll either stay in the area or have real frequent flyers coming back for the ceremonies to honor their buddies, and clap and stand on the ice with them. Like it's going to happen quite a bit. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Heaster Automotive Group hotline open for a Monday sound off, 919-860-5326. Call in if there's something you want to talk about. I kind of want to talk about the Lombardi situation. Michael Lombardi, UNC football general manager, was put on paid administrative leave. The school, not just the athletics program, like the school, put out a press release today. And there's a bit of "I told you so" going around right now. There's like a strong case of the "I told you so's" going around. Not like, oh, Lombardi this, Lombardi that, although there are some people he appears to have rubbed it the wrong way along his career that are very much enjoying this. But what I'm saying is the "I told you so" is very, very simply the moment Bill Belichick put together his staff with the Carolina Tar Heels, the first thing I noticed was not a lot of college experience. The first thing I noticed is there's a lot of NFL experience. There's not a lot of college experience on this roster. College coaching, college administration. Like it's a lot of guys that Bill Belichick knew from his time in the pros. And because of that, it's almost like, of course you're going to accidentally do some things incorrectly. Now, I don't know what the violation is. It's an HR violation is what the reports are saying. Pablo Torre, who's investigative journalist, has done a lot of covering of Carolina. He has said that they're also under investigation from the College Sports Commission, which tracks NCAA and NIL rules, and are they being followed? If you don't have anyone that knows the college football rules like the back of their hand, you're going to cross the line because you don't know where the line is. Right? You can call today, you can't call tomorrow. You can text today, you can't text tomorrow with recruits. You can pay for that, you can't pay for this. It's not always the most intuitive thing. It's not always the most common sense thing. So it's just another way that I think this pro staff should have thought about bringing in a few people that know the lay of the land. Right? Another example. You might be the best, like an analogy, not example. You might be the best outdoorsman in North Carolina, right? You know the mountains in North Carolina. You know the trails. You know the wildlife. You know everything. So when you go on your Canadian trip and you want to go into the wilderness of Canada, even though you're talented, you're skilled, you're one of the best outdoorsmen in the world, you should probably bring a few people that know the Canadian landscape. Right? They know how to deal with the bears up there. Or I'm not outdoorsy, so I'm just making all this up. Like, Bill Belichick was a great NFL coach, NFL front office guy, NFL leader. He knew the loopholes. He found the loopholes. He knew it all. But guess what? He's in Canada, right? He's in a different sport. He's in a different administration where there are different rules, where there are different everythings. I don't know if my phone was listening or not, but I just got a notification. It said ESPN, and all I saw was the UNC logo on there. So I was like, oh, gosh, what is this? It just says, latest cloud over UNC football. This is a notification from ESPN. Mike Lombardi placed on leave, adding to the list of things that haven't gone well for Bill Belichick. It just sent a notification to my phone right
Did it
there.
just repeat what you just said?
Yeah, kind of. It's phones are listening, and now I guess they're echo chambering me. They're just like, I agree with what you say.
Yeah.
You need a few that know college. They brought in Bobby Petrino. I'm not sure if that's the guy you want shepherding you through like rules violations and what's too far.
I don't know. The stuff he did back in the day might be legal now. Who knows?
Yeah, but I'm just saying he obviously wasn't like pouring through the rule book.
True.
You know what I mean?
Didn't care about it.
It's if they cross the line, I'm not even going to say it's like nefarious. I'm going to say like, did they know that line was there? Now, obviously, the HR issue is kind of a different beast, right? Because, you know, a lot of those infractions throughout history that HR is taking care of, a lot of common sense should have let you know where the line was and that you shouldn't cross it. But what I'm getting at is Bill Belichick needed someone that knows the lay of the land a bit better. And it's why I like just looking across campus. I like the staff that Michael Malone is putting together for Carolina basketball. There could be some like watching and learning from across campus, but he's putting together like big-time college basketball people. It's been my number one bugaboo, if that's the appropriate time to use that word. It's been my number one bugaboo about the way the Bill Belichick era has gone. I mean, you might say it's the drama with the personal romantic relationships. I mean, we've all made jokes like with our buddies, but that's a man's personal life. Like, he's going to decide who he spends his time with. But like, from a professional standpoint, if you are criticizing Bill Belichick for the way he has handled the UNC football program, which when you're a professional coach and you're making $10 million a year, you're open to all of that criticism. I think the thing that he missed on most obvious is he didn't bring in the guide, right? No matter how good a fisherman you are when you're on uncharted or unfamiliar water, you're bringing the guide to show you the ins and outs. He didn't have the guide. General manager would have been a great spot to hire somebody that has been a lifetime college football mover and shaker who knows the lay of the land. Instead, he brought a guy with, again, mostly NFL credentials that he'd worked with in the NFL, and now that guy's on paid administrative leave. Now, the CSC part of it, the College Sports Commission part of it that Pablo Torre is reporting, want to be clear, Pablo Torre saying that they're also under investigation there. That could be a whole host of things, right? It could be recruiting violations. It could be, a million. It could be recruiting violations. Even in that category, there's a million different things it could be. Mm-hmm. Could be
the NIL space,
paying players, maybe not NIL going the way you should. The group you have to put it through to see if it's a legit marketing opportunity. Like it's a wild goose chase to try to predict without any reports out there what that investigation is even looking for. And do you know what else we need to remember?
What's that?
The number one rule in sports.
What's that?
Winning solves everything.
That it does.
If they were coming off a 10-2 season, 11-2 with a win in a bowl game, or a 9 win and they stormed back to win their last 6 or something like that, if we were dealing with that, it'd be a completely different framing of the way everything's happening at Carolina. But they won 4 games. 2 of them were against severely overmatched opponents, Richmond and Charlotte. And Charlotte didn't get like bullied. They stuck with them for a little bit.
Charlotte had a chance.
Yeah, exactly. So
Charlotte had a chance.
That's 2 of your 4 wins. So you're not getting the benefit of, well, at least they're still crushing it on the football field. It's not going to come. The spotlight's only going to get brighter and brighter, and who knows what you're going to find when that spotlight hits some of the corners.
You think they're doing all the concerts and stuff this year? I haven't seen anything regarding that. Remember they had the pregame concerts and all that stuff? Remember Ludacris was performing because he had a noon kickoff,
Yeah.
So here's Ludacris at 9:45 in the morning, whatever it was, doing a concert.
I haven't seen anything on that. I would assume Eric Church wants to do it because he'll do anything Carolina asks him to do.
Sure.
It's like, I don't want to say sad, but it does kind of bum me out watching. Just like, it's Carolina football. I've said my entire life, Carolina football is a sleeping giant. The pre-NIL especially, I'm like, they're so cool. Like the jerseys, the shoes, the players that have played there, Lawrence Taylor, Julius Peppers, like these are players that like resonate, right? At my elementary school in South New Jersey, I can see them. I know the kids' names. You wouldn't know them. But I see multiple kids that used to wear like once a week a Julius Peppers 49 North Carolina jersey. There's no reason to be wearing that in South Jersey as far as like local fandom or anything. It was just Julius Peppers was cool as heck. He played football and basketball at North Carolina. It was awesome. They had all of this cachet. And the fact that, Mac Brown to an extent was able to do it, particularly his first time around, but like no one has been able to tap into that and make the football program work. And now Bill Belichick shows up and he has this just ridiculous circus where it's like a circus, but like 2 of the animals have gotten out of their cages, right? It's just chaos and a circus. And I'm worried that it's going to scare away the coach that might be able to tap into everything I just described, right? Because even if he plays, if Belichick plays out the rest of his contract. I mean, the guy's, 74, 75 years old? He's not going to coach much beyond that, even if things are going well. So if they're not going well and the program's a mess and your GM's under investigation and this is happening and that is happening and violations occurred, who knows what the punishments are going to be if these investigations break that way. What next coach is going to show up and be the right one to make all that work? I still think they're a sleeping giant, but obviously it's going to take the right person to turn it around. I don't know who that right person is, but it's becoming more and more clear that it's not Bill Belichick.
I mean, it's also I can see the mindset of how it shouldn't be a distraction because he's the general manager and the guys, it's not actually coaching and stuff. But guess what? Everyone on that team is getting asked what's up with Lombardi?
What do you do? What do you do?
Hey, what happened?
Just your buddies in high school in the group chat. What do you do?
Hey, what happened? Parents, all that kind of stuff. Because now I'm a parent, wait, how? Or if I'm an agent, it's wait a second. If he's on administrative leave, okay, who do I talk to now?
And not to mention, they had $5.3 million. Belichick was given $5.3 million for his support staff, right? Not assistant coaches for the front office, right? $5.3 million a year. 1.5 of it was going to Michael Lombardi.
Yeah.
That's not, you might be that's the cost. No, that's not a normal GM salary. That's above and beyond what most GMs of that level are receiving. And the opportunity cost. How many unreal scouts could you have gotten to patrol the transfer portal for $1.5 million a year? Right? How many bananas, high school recruiting scouts could you put out there? There's so many things. We talked with Bill O'Brien at ACC Kickoff, and he was so excited that in January, Boston College, he's the head coach of Boston College, gave him additional funding, and he was able to hire more front office people.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Lombardi was taking up $1.5 million of the $5.3 million pool they could spend in that entire department. It's the opportunity cost of it.
So this is according to USA Today. This is an article that was written basically a year ago, October of last year. Michael Lombardi, $1.5 million. The Ohio State general manager, $900K. Oregon general manager, $900K. Alabama general manager, $825K. LSU GM, $800K. The LSU has a new general manager, I think, is making $1 million now. But it's above and beyond what any other general manager, the person that holds his title, in college football makes.
Even if you are a big Michael Lombardi fan, you loved his book, you listened to his old podcast, and you loved the work he did with the Browns in the 90s. You have to admit he's not 1/3 better than the highest paid GMs in the country. He's not the best GM. Look at the roster that he put together last year and this year. He's not the best GM in the country by leaps and bounds, but they're paying him like he is. It's just bad business. Right? If you pay a good photographer as if he's the best photographer, she's the best photographer in the world, even though you got a good photographer, it's still a bad deal, still bad business. If you pay a decent GM $500,000 more than anybody else makes in that position in the country, bad business. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're going to talk all ACC ballots. We should hear who the preseason all ACC award winners, as well as the team, all preseason all ACC first team, that kind of stuff, this week. So we should put our ballots on wax, let everybody know for the record who we chose. So we'll do that. But first, Dennis has something else he'd like to tell you.
Hey everyone, Dennis Cox here real quick for my good friends over at Law Tigers. Something I was finally able to do yesterday that I haven't been able to do in probably over a week because of the weather and the way it's been. I actually got to get on my motorcycle and ride, and actually went for a long ride yesterday, and it was nice. And one of the things I appreciate about riding my motorcycle and just cruising around just the Raleigh area is the fact that there's that sense of freedom that comes with riding a motorcycle, because you're able to clear your head. You have no distractions in regards to, you don't have your phone next beside you, any of those kinds of things. You're just able to focus, and that freedom that you feel in a moment's notice can be taken away from you because at any moment, you never know if a car is going to drift over into your lane or whatever it might be. An accident can happen. We all understand that accidents can happen on the road, and obviously motorcycle riders were a little bit more vulnerable than someone that's sitting in a car. But if you are injured in a motorcycle accident, you should have comfort in knowing that there are people out there to protect your rights as a motorcycle rider, and that's what Law Tigers is there to do. Law Tigers was founded 25 years ago by people in the motorcycle riding community for those in the motorcycle riding community. So if you're injured in an accident, contact 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, or like I say, give them a call, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, or visit lawtigers.com even before you get in touch with the insurance company. Your case evaluation is always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. Give them a call, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, or visit lawtigers.com. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Well, we're going to talk a little All-ACC preseason action next.
Move your sports day forward.
Soccer put its best foot forward this summer and tried everything it could to not put its foot in its mouth. Stellar play from the world's top stars in Messi and Mbappe, and a cult social media hero in the chiseled Viking Erling Haaland. It's a shame this will all be forgotten for another 4 years. Maybe we could get Shakira and the Muppets to do a yearly halftime show.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
At Wake Orthopedics Urgent Care, we spend days, nights, and weekends in 3 convenient locations providing specialized care for kids and adults. Sprains and strains, shoulders and knees, fractures, hammies, and more. All that and all without an appointment. Walk in or limp in, either way you'll get the care you need whenever you need it. Visit us today at wakemed.org.
Discover the thrill of precision and elegance with Omega at Bailey's Fine Jewelry. From the depths of the ocean to the heights of space, Omega's Seamaster and Speedmaster collections are crafted for those who dare to explore. With a heritage rooted in innovation and a timeless style inspired by sports, space, and cinematic legends, Omega is the gift for every adventurer. Find your perfect watch at Bailey's Fine Jewelry in Raleigh's Village District. Voted Best Jeweler. Learn more at BaileyBox.com.
This summer, there are 250 reasons to join T-Mobile.
Girls trip? Booked. And switching to T-Mobile helped make it happen.
With Experience Beyond, switch and get $100 back. Plus, $650 in value in built-in plan benefits. That's $750 in your first year. Guaranteed.
And honestly, that $100 back, I'm putting it towards the zip line.
Now that's how you do summer.
Exactly. Best switch I ever made.
This is just one reason to join T-Mobile this summer. There are 250 reasons. Find yours.
Savings based on the value of benefits included with Experience Beyond, like entertainment and 1 year of AAA Classic and Dash Pass on us. Benefits may require activation. See plan for details. Get $100 via virtual prepaid MasterCard with eligible ported, no cash access, and expires in 6 months. Issued by Sunrise Banks, N.A. member FDIC. Allow 8 weeks.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we reveal our All-ACC ballots, and we are extremely thankful to even be invited to vote for something like that, at least I am, very honored. Before we do that, though, I don't like what I'm about to say, but I believe what I'm about to say. These types of preseason accolades matter more than I think anyone wants them to. And the reason why, like preseason awards, it feels like this is a nothing burger. Who cares? They haven't even played. But what you don't realize is all of these awards, whether it's All-ACC Team, Player of the Year, preseason expected rankings, whether it's things like ESPN's FPI, Football Power Index that they put out a ranking for, or the preseason AP rankings, or any of it, it all just kind of sets up how much leash you're going to have this year, right? If a team has 5-6 guys on the first team All-ACC offense and they lose their first game, everybody goes like, well, all right, we'll knock them down a little bit, but they're still studs. Meanwhile, if a team has no all-ACC performers and they lose their first one, the rankers, the pollers, the fans, the people that choose which games make television and everything else go, oh, yeah, they stink. We knew they stink. Right? It's the same thing of like if you're preseason ranked number 2 and you lose by 14 week 1, you fall all the way to like number 8 in the country. Meanwhile, if you're unranked and you lose the first one, you just become a million miles away from possibly being ranked. And you guys did the exact same thing in the only game that mattered that season thus far, right? You both lost by 14. So I take it seriously. I do pay attention to who wins the awards because the narratives that surround these teams, they matter. This is not baseball. They're not going to play a million games, so by the end, we'll be pretty much only judging the games you played. If you're only playing 12 games, where you start has a huge impact on where you finish, regardless of how well you play. So with that being said, let's run through our All-ACC brackets. Dennis, you want to go position by position? How do we want to do this? You want to just say a position and we each give our picks?
We can do something along those lines, or you just want to go through the local stuff?
Sure. Go
okay.
ahead.
Either way. Well, let's start with who is your quarterback?
I put C.J. Bailey as my quarterback.
You did? Okay. I went with Mensa. I was very torn. So I last week when I was filling in for you, I gave gave some of my picks, and I said I was torn between 3 guys for my quarterback.
Can I guess the third?
Who?
Calvé Sungopolutele?
No.
Oh, wow.
Jennings
okay.
from SMU. Kevin Jennings from SMU, because I think Kevin Jennings, he's his 3rd year starting at SMU. He's obviously Rhett Lashley's same head coach and everything like that, so same system. I also think just because of his running ability, I think he's going to put up some crazy rushing numbers this season, some rushing stats this year as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I was torn between Jennings, Bailey, and Mensa. It was like a 3-headed race for me.
I was torn, but instead of Jennings, I had the Cal quarterback.
And then I was like, all right, I was looking at it, I was like, nah, probably because I'm local.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, now I kind of narrowed it down to 2. I narrowed it down to Bailey and Mensa. And the reason why I went with Mensa is because I don't really know or have full confidence in who C.J. Bailey is throwing the ball to, just because it's a little bit more of an unknown. Whereas Malachi Toney, first team all-conference last year, I think it was conference rookie of the year last year as well, who's a stud wide receiver. And you have Cooper Barkate coming from Duke with Darian Mensa, who was a second-team All-ACC last year. So the fact that you have those 2 guys on the outside and just the amount of money that goes into it, I just think that what Mensa is surrounded with is going to help elevate him. Not that he's bad. Obviously, he's a fantastic player. He was second-team All-ACC last year. So that's part of the reason why I decided to go with Mensa, just because of that factor. That was the deciding one for me, but I was really close to putting C.J. Bailey as my QB.
I had this all written down in a notebook as I did my research, and I wrote down Bailey, but I would accept, I wouldn't make fun of anybody for going Mensa or Jaron Calvé Sungopolutele. Jennings is a good one. I think he maybe peaked a little early in his career, and SMU is going to be good, but he might not be as.
Also a team that's won 9 games in each of the last 3 seasons.
Super impressive. I actually think Bailey maybe not having a super brand name supporting cast is going to help him, right? I think Mensa could be seen as a product of, and Bailey's going to have to produce everything else. You know what I mean? Not a system guy. Let's run through these quickly. We're running out of time.
Go for it. Sorry.
Running back, I have Isaac Brown of Louisville, Mark Fletcher of Miami. It was nearly impossible for me to keep Nate Shepard off, but I just think Isaac Brown is really good. Speed's different. And Mark Fletcher being on Miami, they're going to get that stupid hype bump.
I went with Isaiah Brown, and I also actually had Nate Shepard over Fletcher. Because I think Shepard's just going to get the ball a lot.
For receivers, I have Cooper Barkate.
Yep.
I have Malachi Toney.
Likewise.
And I have Deuce Robinson from Florida State.
All 3 the same.
For tight end, I put Jeremiah Hazley from Duke.
As did I.
I did a good amount of research on this one. There's no real statistical stud coming back in the ACC that caught a ton of passes. Hazley has done a really good job at Duke, and I think he's going to be a bigger part as far as of the passing offense, simply because Barkate's gone and some of the other guys are unproven. I'm going to be honest. I sourced out a lot of my offensive line to people that I trust about offensive line because I have a really hard time evaluating them. I think it's nearly impossible. But after a few recommendations from a few different people, offensive tackle Ethan McEnany, McKinney from Georgia Tech and P.J. Williams from SMU.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive guard, Spike Souls from NC State and Addison Nichols, SMU. And center, Josh Bates, SMU. I guess the SMU offensive line is just bonkers from the people that I've talked to. Again, I outsourced it because I didn't want to just blindly pick, you're a good running offense, I'll give you 2 offensive linemen. Like I went out and seeked out people that study that stuff for a living, and that's what I came with.
So the way I do it is I don't have my ballot fully in front of me right now, but the way I do it is I look at who made all conference last year. All right, who's still playing? Boom.
There you go.
That's you were 3rd team last year. Someone on 2nd and 1st team aren't here anymore. Preseason.
There you go.
That for offensive line.
Feels very earned that way. I don't hate it. For defensive end, I have a Carolina guy, Melkart Abu-Jaude.
Yep, likewise.
And Damon Wilson, incoming transfer to Miami from Missouri.
Okay.
He's going to be put in that Ruben Bain, Akeem Mesidor role, and they've got a really talented defensive line. He's going to produce.
I definitely had Abu-Jaude on mine.
Defensive tackle, I went Kamari Copeland from Virginia Tech and Ahmad Moten from Miami.
Likewise.
Moten's one of those guys that's going to help Wilson. Linebackers, I went Sammy Brown from Clemson.
Yep.
He's a freak. I watched some tape. He's fast. Cam Robinson from Virginia gets his hands on the ball, versatile. And Matt Rose from Stanford he was kind of my wild card. I'm not sure if West Coast guys are going to get much love just because so much of the media is East Coast, but I put him on there anyway.
I put Antoine Delorier from Syracuse. He might be by the way, Antoine Delorier, just look him up from Syracuse. Yeah. He might quickly turn into our favorite player. Like he might be like our show's favorite player in the ACC that's not in the state of North Carolina.
Yeah, kind of Haynes King vibes. Like I know he's not our guy, like our team guy, but I just like him. He's a bodybuilder. Cornerback, I went Ashton Hampton from Clemson and Xavier Lucas from Miami. Safety, Corey Myrick from Clemson. Cohen Entringer from Miami. Kicker, punter, all-purpose. Again, I just looked around and asked a few questions. Aiden Burr, Georgia Tech. I actually asked some NFL people about this, because I'm like, who's going to get drafted out of the ACC, or who's like the NFL keeping their eye on? This is who they gave me. Aiden Burr from Georgia Tech. Punter, Dylan Joyce from Miami.
I think Burr was first team all-conference last year, I think.
That would track.
So I was like, yep, that one works.
And then all-purpose, Malachi Toney from Miami.
Likewise.
I think he's really gosh darn talented in space. If they have him returning kicks, he's going to return a couple to the house. And, that's really all it takes to be an all-conference returner is like 2 touchdowns. So Malachi Toney's there. That's my ballot.
Who's your player of the year?
Player of the year, I went Isaac Brown of Louisville.
Oh, did you really? Okay.
Yeah, I think he's really going to break out. And also, I think they're due for a running back to win some of those awards.
I'm for it. It's weird. I actually chose the quarterback. I went Darian Mensah. For everything I talked about earlier.
I think the betting favorite is probably Darian Mensah, closely behind with the 3 quarterbacks we've already discussed. But I wanted to mix it up.
That's fair.
I wanted to mix it up. And Brown is fast. He makes fast people look not fast. But there you go. All ACC ballot. We should hear this week. They usually roll it out. The All ACC team one year, the award one day, the awards another day, and we'll dissect and evaluate if they got it right or not, and we'll decide that.
Who do you have winning the conference?
Miami.
Against who? Who's second?
Miami. I think I have SMU second.
Likewise.
Which I don't have my rankings that I submitted in front of me, but I think I put SMU second. It's just a consistency thing. Those have been the 2 most consistent teams over the last 2 or 3 years, and coaches are still here. A bunch of players are still here. I know Miami doesn't have their quarterback, but they do have a quarterback that was still here.
Yep.
So there's
better than the one they just had.
Yeah, apparently Carson Beck. You ready for the overreaction to training camp?
Yeah.
Missed a couple high today.
Oh, you don't say.
Look at that.
Imagine that. I had Miami, SMU, Louisville, Pitt. Because believe it or not, like those teams were all in that 5-way tie. I had State 5.
I had State highest of the triangle. I forget where exactly, 4 or 5.
I had State 5. I had Duke 6. I had Wake 7. I had UNC 14. I had UNC way down there.
I had UNC in the bottom tier, down there with Boston College and Stanford and the like.
Real quick, did you have to, when you were doing your preseason ranking for ACC? I had this struggle. Like basically, once you got past 2.
Yep.
Basically, like 2 to 12. I'm like, you could justify any of this.
Oh, yeah, that kind of trouble.
Between 3 and 12.
I had trouble with my ballot because somehow, like, I on my computer hit back after I had like the whole thing filled out.
Whoops.
And then I had to go I was really upset. You mean difficulty just with like a middle section? I saw three tiers. Within those tiers, very little made sense. Like it was all vibes and like schedule watching to who like has their big games at home, which is why I think State was at the top of tier 2 because their schedule is not scary. But I hate using that as like a tiebreaker. I want to pick based on the team, but what are you gonna do? Miami was at the top of my top tier. NC State was at the top of my middle tier, and at the top of my bottom tier, I think was Boston College.
Okay.
I think I liked BC amongst the teams that are like the have-nots. Just based on a few things. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're being up front. We're being open. Trying to make sure everybody can hold us accountable. The starting 5 is coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Adam.
I'm Adam Gold, and I'm there.
Tim.
I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm there.
Dennis.
I'm Dennis Cox, and I'm there.
Victoria.
I'm Victoria Bodenecker, and I'm there.
Paul.
I'm Paul Eihander, and I'm there too.
You'll find them all here on the brand new 99.9 The Fan app. To work, to school, the beach, the mountains, the arena, take The Fan with you wherever you go. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today.
It's bow time. Ordering Bojangles Bow Bites is the easiest choice you'll make today. The bite-sized hand-breaded chicken is fried to crispy perfection, making it perfect for sharing, snacking, or when you're on the go. Just don't call it a nugget. The only hard part is choosing from our 6 dipping sauces. We've got a sauce for every kind of craving, from our creamy house-made ranch to our sweet and spicy peach honey pepper sauce. It all depends on what kind of mood you're in. Head to your nearest Bojangles today and discover the dippable, shareable, and craveable Bow Bites. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to head on over to Bojangles to try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. Bite-sized hand-breaded chicken fried to crispy perfection. On the go, they're perfect for snacking or sharing. Dipped in your favorite sauce like creamy house-made ranch or peach honey pepper, they're the perfect way to satisfy your craving for flavor and value. Try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. It's an easy choice to make when it's bow time.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar. The better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. So good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Stop by Refuel and get 25 cents off per gallon when you buy 2 20-ounce Pepsi Zero Sugars with Refuel Rewards.
If you have a 2, 3, or 4% mortgage rate, don't refinance it. You don't have to, but you can still get cash out of your home. Introducing Loan Pronto's zero-cost equity loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. That's right. With Loan Pronto, you can get all the cash you need without touching your first mortgage and without any fees. One local homeowner just got $100,000. Paid off all their credit cards, paid off their existing HELOC, remodeled their kitchen, and saved over $1,500 per month. It gets better. There's no hard credit pull up front, usually no appraisal, no long drawn-out process, and listen, no closing costs. You may be able to even skip your next 2 house payments. Call Loan Pronto now. Leave your low-rate mortgage intact, but get the cash you need in as little as 2 weeks without paying closing costs. LoanPronto.com. See how much you can get right now. Call 919-381-1760. That's 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. For qualified homeowners, equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Canes light the lamp here.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. Only a 20% chance of a storm this afternoon. Otherwise, partly cloudy tonight, a low of 72. But the weather becomes more active Tuesday. Highs are in the low 90s, and scattered storms fill in by the afternoon and evening. Some of those could become severe.
5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 262 points to 52,209.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The starting five is brought to you by Baker Home Exteriors. For roofing, siding, windows, and doors, trust the team that's been doing good work for over 100 years. Baker Home Exteriors, roofing the Carolinas since 1915. BakerHomeExteriors.com. It is 5 o'clock, which means it is time for the starting five, and we start with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Former NC State quarterback Jacoby Brissett had a good day yesterday. The Cardinals have opened training camp, so he's practicing. He's the projected starter for the Arizona Cardinals. He also found about $10 million yesterday. I don't know if "found's" the right word.
Just laying around? Oh, look at this.
Kind of. The Arizona Cardinals and Jacoby Brissett agreed to a reworked deal, which will pay him $15.5 million guaranteed this season, with the chance to make $21 million with incentives, according to a source talking to ESPN's Adam Schefter. He was essentially going to make $5 million. Now he's making $15.5 million. Everything else is the same. He did not receive any more years on the deal. He will be an unrestricted free agent after this season. It is just a, hey, we understand you're upset that you're not making more money. Can we make you happy with $10 million? And he said, yes. How about it? How about it, right? Like, in negotiations, you always have to give something up to get what you want, right? Like, okay, we'll give you more money per year, but you're going to have to give us more years. Like, all right, you're going to have to do this, but your incentives are going to go down. Like, there was nothing. He just got more. And on top of that, he was acting as his own agent. You know what that means? There's no 3% of that $10 million going to somebody else.
Nope, keeping all that.
Or however much agents get, I don't know. It might 3 is what it used to be.
It's 3's the max.
Some negotiate down though.
Yeah, like especially if you got like a high end client, be like, hey, let's do 1%.
Yeah, 1.5.
Yeah, yeah. Because when you sign for $100 million, it's...
that half is pretty darn. Give me that extra tenth right there.
Yeah.
But my point is, I was talking to somebody, I forget why, and they just kept emphasizing to the point where I was like, all right, I get it. In sports, when your career is short, the best thing you can do is recognize one of the few times you have leverage. Because throughout your career as a professional athlete, most of the time, the team would be better off without you than you would be without them. Right? Most of the time, if you were to hold out, the team's going to go fine. Your backup's not that much worse. But the few times you recognize where if they don't have me out there, they're in trouble, you have to pounce and get as much money as you can. Jacoby Brissett as a starting quarterback in the NFL, no offense to him, I think he's solid, is largely replaceable, right? Not many teams are like, oh gosh, if we don't have Jacoby, we're going to be awful. Arizona would have been in a lot of trouble without Jacoby Brissett. He recognized it and he got an extra $10 million. That's not only a lot to us because we're like normal folk making normal money. That's a lot to an NFL player. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4 all together. Let's do that hockey.
Sebastian Aho. Hold on. Let me get it correct. Stanley Cup champion Sebastian Aho.
Yes, there's a title.
Yeah, it's like, gotta say sir. He's knighted, but with the Stanley Cup. He has they're all getting their day with the cup, right? Every Kane. I saw Nick Delorier took it to Wildwood, New Jersey, place where I used to vacation as a kid, go to the water park. Saw Nikolai Ehlers driving it around in, I think, a Ferrari. Pretty darn cool. Freddie Anderson took it to Legoland in Denmark. pretty cool. But it's Sebastian Aho over the weekend had his day, which I believe was also his birthday. So happy birthday to Sebastian Aho.
Yeah, I think he just had one recently.
There's some kind of festival going on. He took the trophy on stage. You would have thought he was like Kendrick Lamar headlining Lollapalooza or something like that. When he is a rock star.
Like J. Cole at Dreamville.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very similar. He is a rock star. Only like if J. Cole wasn't showing up to do the thing, like he wasn't showing up to play music. If J. Cole walked on stage to like, I don't know, just hold up his record. Like,
yeah.
Like just hold up a vinyl. Like, I made this. And everybody just goes, he just walked out there with the trophy, held it up. It was like the Beatles were playing Hey Jude or something. The dude is a absolute rock star in Finland. And I think it's one of those things where I think Sebastian Aho has the perfect amount of fame. The absolute perfect amount of fame. Because when he's in Raleigh, when he's around here, he's pretty famous, right? But also, he's the type of famous that like always can get a reservation. But also, he puts on like a hat and sunglasses. He could probably walk down the street with mostly just like nods and hey, thank yous. Like not have his day ruined. But if he ever wants to be like the most famous person amongst thousands of people, he just goes home to Finland and he's like Elvis. He gets to choose how famous he is. And if he ever wants to be not famous at all, there's a bunch of markets in America he could go to and just walk the streets, right? If there's if you went to Santa Fe, New Mexico, right? Just hung out, he could just hang out. He's the perfect amount of famous.
By the way, his birthday was yesterday,
Happy
the 26th. Also my dad's birthday yesterday.
Look at you.
I know. How lucky is Sebastian Aho to share a birthday with my father?
Shout out to Papa Dennis's dad.
Whose name's also Dennis.
Oh, were you a big Dennis, little Dennis when you were growing up?
Or Dennis Michael, which is Michael's middle name.
It doesn't happen as much, but back in the day before caller ID.
Yeah.
Hello, this is oh, hey, I want to talk to Dennis. Big Dennis or little Dennis?
Yep.
Right? Like you always gotta ask that question.
Yeah. Dad's birthday yesterday. Sister's birthday today. My sister.
Wow.
Happy birthday to my sister.
You got a packed little weekend.
I know.
But my point is, I'm glad to see Aho getting the... Sometimes I think he should be more famous than he is around here. Like, he should be more talked about. It's good to see somewhere he knows he can show up and, get the boy band getting out of the bus treatment where he's just getting swarmed, if he wants to.
So he turned 29 yesterday, by the way. So, he's, in the middle of his prime. He's peak years. He's in the middle of that. As long as he's been around, man, he's only 29. He's been with the team for 10 years, 11 seasons now. It's oh, yeah, he's just turned 29. He's a lot of hockey.
Now, consider if he's playing Jordan Stahl level at 37, 38. You could have 8-9 more years.
Oh, yeah.
Of
easily
pretty top-level Sebastian Aho.
So I think he has 5 more years left on his deal, so you're taking him to age 34.
Mm-hmm. And then you do the same thing you did with Stahl. Give him that 3-year deal and then take it one by one after that.
Sure.
You got the blueprint. That's number 4. How about number 3? Stanford football. Stanford football players, right? This is a players thing, not a program thing, right? It's not like this was decided by the head coach. It appears this was decided by the players. Stanford football players are, I'll just read it straight from an ESPN article by Dan Murphy. Stanford football players have formed a campus chapter of the College Football Players Association, making the Cardinal the first team to partner with the organization, which aims to eventually unionize college athletes. To be clear, they are not yet petitioning to form a union or be deemed employees of Stanford, but it marks a step towards building the structure for college athletes to be deemed athletes, to unionize, and then eventually to collectively bargain like professional athletes do with their leagues. I don't want to simplify it, but I think it is simple. Allowing college football players or college athletes to unionize and negotiate fixes everything in college sports. It fixes everything. You know what's happening right now? The college sports put in a new 5-for-5 eligibility rule, right? You get 5 years to play 5 years, and there's no waivers, there's none of that. And you know what happened immediately? A bunch of players are suing the NCAA. Just an insane amount of players are suing the NCAA. That wouldn't happen if it was a collectively bargained change. You'd be able to enforce rules like that once they are collectively bargained, and players would not sue. That being a part of the union would mean they give up their right to do those sort of things, but they would also feel like they had been represented in the formulation of those rules. It would fix everything. You could put common sense transfer portal limitations on. You could put common sense NIL rules in place. You could put common sense tampering rules in place and not just have the rules be for show. You could actually enforce them. There's a reason why when the NFL is investigating and the NFLPA is investigating the Carolina Panthers for not obeying CBA negotiated rules during training camp, that if they put a fine or a pick deduction on them, they don't immediately lawyer up. And it's because of negotiations done in the CBA by the union. If Stanford can make it happen, they'll be the MVPs of the decade. If Stanford can make it so players can unionize. I really hope it happens is basically what I'm saying. And Stanford's as good as any because they're well funded. They're Stanford. You know Stanford. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
All right, we talked earlier about the Nick Scorton injury and the investigation from the NFLPA. I want to talk about other Panthers training camp reactions. There's an article going on right now, or not an article, excuse me, a clip going viral right now in Carolina Panthers Twitter world and social media world. It's a clip of Tetairoa McMillan running a double move, little corner post, right? Break towards the corner, slam your foot in the ground, break towards the post. Corey Thornton is in coverage. Tetairoa McMillan has him beat on the double move, and Bryce Young underthrows the ball. Tetairoa McMillan has to slam on the brakes, kind of jumps back to it, but Thornton gets a hand on it. It's a pass breakup. It is an immediate overreaction to be upset with Bryce on the play. Here's why. And here's why, we should never get stats from a practice in training camp. We should never know Bryce went 5 of 7. We should never know he went 1 of 7. We should never remember last year when the 3 quarterbacks for the Browns were all competing. It was Dylan Gabriel, Joe Flacco, and Shedeur Sanders. And after every single training camp practice, somebody put up these statistics, yards, touchdowns, 7-on-7 stats for each of them. We should never know that. Okay? And I don't get to say this very often, but I'm going to say it. Aaron Rodgers had a very insightful point, and he made it when on the Keep Hammering Collective podcast. The point he made, and I have some I'll read from you. He said basically that he believes quarterbacks need to throw more incompletions in practice. He thinks they should throw more incompletions in practice. And here's the quote. That's where you grow. You have to put yourself in the most adverse situations. When coaches or players are more concerned about what it looks like than how it feels, it's really hard to grow. You're just hoping for perfect practice and perfect passes in practice. Instead, it should be, oh, you missed that one. Perfect. That's exactly what you want. Now you have a feeling, right? I was a little too far on my front foot. My hitch was a little too much. I need more weight on my back foot. I need to put more air on the ball when I'm trying to throw it 25 yards outside the numbers. Working with young quarterbacks, I tell them, this is all Aaron Rodgers talking. Aaron tells them, that's the best rep possible. Remember that one. So when it comes up next time, you can make the right throw. And then, ready for the Panthers connection? JJ Jansen, the long snapper, retweeted it with something that I'm going to steal from JJ, and I'm going to keep it as my own, and I'm not giving him a bibliography. He put practice greater than rehearsal. And I think that's a great way to put it. Practice shouldn't be making every decision that you would make in a game. It should be about how do I get the most better? How do I improve the most? Practice is not rehearsal. It's why I think playing in preseason games is so important, Preseason games are rehearsals. That's where I need you to complete the highest percentage of your passes. I need you to throw 0 interceptions. I need you to be that's where you're trying to be perfect. That's where you can practice trying to be perfect. In practice, make mistakes. Make mistakes. So now going back to the clip I talked about, the one going viral. Tedero McMillan runs a double move. It's underthrown. Corey Thornton gets his hand on it. Go watch it again, right? You probably missed it because you were too busy throwing your head back in disgust at the throw from Bryce. Right after Tedero McMillan sees it's an incompletion, he looks back. You see him make quick eye contact with Bryce, and he throws a giant thumbs up in the air. I'm telling you, that type of communication matters a lot because it might have been Bryce wanted him to take 3 steps to the post or to the corner before breaking to the post, and he only took 2. It might have been Bryce went, oh, I didn't know he was only taking 2. I should have gotten it out there earlier. That's why it was underthrown. It might have been, oh, you didn't want a jump ball there. You wanted over the shoulder. Those little communications, they matter a ton. And Bryce could have looked at it and gone, it's a tough pass. I'm going to check it down to Jonathan Brooks, right? I'll come to my next read, a stick route over the middle by the tight end. But guess what? You learn nothing by taking the check down there. In a game, you might take the check down, right? You might go, I'm hunting completions. I'm just trying to pick up yards on first down or whatever it is. That's different. In practice, make it so you and Tedero McMillan hit that every time. Get those out of the way. That thumbs up is worth its weight in gold. And don't take it from me, take it from Aaron Rodgers. He has one of the best completion percentages in NFL history. And he's saying throw more incompletions in practice. So it's an issue. It's why I don't love it's why every single time there's a quarterback competition, I'm antsy to make a decision because I want them to get to practicing rather than auditioning. Right? Like when you're in a quarterback competition, you need to complete all your passes. You need to be spotless in practice because you want to win the competition. Once you're an established starter, you can try things, fail at them in practice where you're supposed to fail and there's a safety net. Who cares? So do not get bent out of shape where it's like, oh, the passing offense went 6 of 12 and 7-on-7. I'm going like, well, show me the misses. Let's look at them. Let's talk about it. Are they good misses, bad misses? Are they misses that they learned something? Not every miss is made the same in practice. That's what frustrates me. It's like, oh, Bryce, another year of this. And I'm going like, you have no idea why that ball was underthrown. It didn't look like a pass Bryce could make, by the way. It's not like he was trying to air it out and his arm came up short. That's a different story. We've seen him make the throw. He just didn't choose the right loft.
Shouldn't have that popcorn.
Yeah, it's a great swing, but it's a pitching wedge, and it turns out the hole's 20 yards outside your pitching wedge. Like, you hit it perfect. You just got to learn your distances. Like, it can be fixed is what I'm saying. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1.
Go one!
Bruh. Carolina Tar Heels football general manager Michael Lombardi has been put on paid administrative leave. As of, we learned about it, the release was put out by the university earlier today. It is reportedly an HR matter. There's a complaint. Again, this is all reportedly. Nothing has been confirmed by the team nor the university. An HR complaint from somebody that used to work in the front office of the Tar Heels. And that's what started the investigation. He's going to be on paid administrative leave while the investigation goes on. For more context, Lombardi is scheduled to make $1.5 million this year, according to a salary database of UNC system employees. His bonus structure, and that contract, by the way, is good. It doesn't end until January 15th of 2028. So there would be buyout. There'd be a whole bunch of things that would have to happen if he's no longer the GM. His bonus structure provides a $125,000 payment for UNC playing in a bowl game, $250,000 payments for a top 25 final ranking, a college football playoff, or an ACC championship game appearance. Like, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of money tied up in this guy. A lot of money. Pablo Torre investigative reporter Pablo Torre Finds Out podcast has tweeted, breaking, in addition to the Michael Lombardi HR matter, the University of North Carolina football team is also being investigated by the College Sports Commission, the entity which handles compliance and enforcement of NCAA and NIL rules. I have no reason to believe that they are connected, the two things. I have no reason to believe they're not, right? I don't know if there's any connection there. This is another bullet point on the things that have happened since Bill Belichick took over the Carolina Tar Heels that I believe would file under the distraction category. And I'm not sure this one can be ignored. Right? It's Bill Belichick and Michael Lombardi. They've been two peas in a pod. Michael Lombardi has been Bill Belichick's right-hand man, especially during this run where they've both been employed by the Carolina Tar Heels. Michael Lombardi has been the ride or die, right? He goes out and defends everything everything Bill Belichick does. He's been the mouthpiece of that organization for the year and change that they've been running the program. It's very difficult to separate the two on a matter like this. Right? It's you ready for, I don't know why this were you a Home Improvement fan? This just popped into my head.
Oh yeah.
There was that was pretty good actually. I'm not as good. There was one of the kids here. I'm just going to spit it out. I don't know why I'm struggling over this so much. There was a very special episode. Remember when sitcoms used to do that? There was an episode where one of the sons was caught smoking marijuana. They found the marijuana that he had stashed away. And then at one point they learned that it's actually the marijuana belonged to the son's friend. And Jill, the mother, goes, Oh, good. It's not our son's marijuana. It's Joe Schmo. It's the friend's marijuana. And Tim Taylor in the show looks at her and goes, even if it's his best friend's pot, he's smoking it. And it was very much like, if they do everything together, like none of the infractions are solely on one of them. You know what I mean? It's very tough to believe that Michael Lombardi was doing things that like Bill Belichick was completely unaware of. Now that could be good or bad, right? Who knows? We don't know what this investigation is, but it's you are the people you surround yourself with.
Lombardi was Belichick's handpicked guy.
Yes. You are the people you surround you co-signed for him in the biggest way. We talked about it earlier. The highest paid GMs across college football make like $900K or $1 million a year. Michael Lombardi's making 1.5. Not only did you co-sign him and bring him into the program, you said he's so worth it, we should give him an industry, not even market setting, like market shattering deal to be the GM. You're going to be responsible for that. There was one time in my life, so my dad was a manager and, a bunch of people worked for him. I suggested a buddy to work for him. I was like, hey, he's good. And the guy did the training. He's still a friend of mine, but the guy did the training. He worked for like a month and then he bailed. He quit. He left. And I felt awful because I was like, God, this guy was my cosign, right? And my dad made the recommendation and got him the job and I felt so bad. And I haven't recommended anybody else to work for darn near anybody else since because I'm like, unless I know everything about him. Like if you bring in a guy and hire him to be your right-hand man, you're co-signing, you're vouching for him. Add it to the list. The reports of dysfunction from parents, the reports of not being prepared, the reports of traffic violations, the reports of so much, let alone some bad football that was played. There's a lot going on that the Carolina Tar Heels do not want going on around their program. Another movie reference that just popped into my head, Wedding Crashers. Rule number whatever. Bring the attention to yourself, but on your own terms, right? Like they wanted all eyes on them in the college football world when they hired Bill Belichick. They wanted to be the epicenter of media in college sports when they hired Bill Belichick, but on their own terms, not the way it's turned out. They wanted like The Athletic and ESPN writing features. They didn't want TMZ and the New York Post writing tabloids, but that's what they've gotten. It's crazy. That's number one on the starting five. Again, the starting five brought to you by Baker Home Exteriors. We do good work at a profit if we can, at a loss if we must, but always good work. That's the Baker name, Baker Home Exteriors, bakerhomeexteriors.com. We will need to grab some numbers game contestants, and I'll tell you what the prize is in a second. But first, Dennis has something he'd like to tell you.
Hey, everyone. Dennis Cox here real quick for Loan Pronto. If you have a 2%, 3%, or 4% mortgage rate, don't refinance it. You don't have to, but you can still get the cash out of your home. Introducing Loan Pronto's zero-cost equity loan. That's right. With Loan Pronto, you can get all the cash you need without touching your first mortgage and without any fees. One local homeowner just got $100,000. They paid off all their credit cards, paid off their existing HELOC, remodeled their kitchen, and saved over $1,500 per month. It gets better. There's no hard credit pull up front, usually no appraisal, no long drawn-out process. And listen, no closing costs. You may even be able to skip your next 2 house payments. Call Loan Pronto now. Leave your low-rate mortgage intact, but get the cash that you need in as little as 2 weeks without paying closing costs. LoanPronto.com. See how much you can get right now. Call 919-381-1760. That's 919-381-1760, or visit LoanPronto.com. For qualifying homeowners, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
All right, as promised, we need numbers game contestants. Call right now, 919-860-5326 for your chance to compete in the numbers game and win a pair of tickets to see 5 Seconds of Summer at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on August 14th. The concert tickets will go to the winner. We need 2 contestants to compete. Call in now, 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. Call in now. Numbers game next.
Evan, Kenty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
He, Rich Paul, and whoever is in the small circle of people in the know knew that they were going to have to weather this. Everyone being annoyed at the delay and the indecision. It's almost as if he's enjoying this because he knows we're all chomping at the bit for this information, and he knows that there's an internal countdown in his head being like, okay, just wait, it's going to happen here.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
A lot has changed since 1915. The way the Baker family treats people hasn't. They've roofed the Carolinas for over 100 years. The motto puts it plainly: we shall do good work, at a profit if we can, at a loss if we must, but always good work. Trust the team that's kept that promise for generations. Baker Home Exteriors. Always good work. Visit bakerhomeexteriors.com.
Yeah, can you pass me a Baja?
A what?
Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Try it. It's tropical at first, then the lime flavor hits.
Oh, okay. That's crisp. Tastes like vacation.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And it's mine now.
Have a Baja Blast.
Right now at Circle K, buy a 20-ounce Mountain Dew and get another for just $1. Do the Dew at Circle K today.
Hi friends, this is Mark Pons from Chapel Hill Tire. There's nothing quite like a North Carolina summer, unless, of course, your air conditioning decides to stop working. If your AC isn't blowing cold, is making strange noises, or just isn't keeping up with the heat, now's the time to have it checked. This month, take advantage of our summer AC special, save $40, and let our ASC certified technicians make sure you're ready for the hottest days of the year. Schedule your appointment today at chapelhilltire.com and drive happy.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I don't know what you all are afraid of, but the last 2 weeks we've had a ton of people call in, get put on hold, they're ready for the numbers game, and then they drop or they hang up. It happened again. Don't be afraid. Call in, stick to your nerve, stay on the line. So we have one spot open, 919-860-5326. 919-860-5326. Call in now. We have Mark in Raleigh waiting patiently. He needs a competitor. And also, if it's something on our end where you're calling in and you're on hold and you're being kicked off, let us know that too. Call in and let us know, because I want the people that call in and get in first to be the ones that get the opportunity.
Remind people of the prize again.
The prize, 5 seconds of summer tickets. A pair of tickets to see 5 Seconds of Summer at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on August 14th. There you go. Somebody he picked up the phone. 919-860-5326 is the number. If this is not, I think this is going to be our next contestant. All right, we have Jake and Mark. Jake is from Raleigh and Mark is from Raleigh. And they will be competing for the 5 Seconds of Summer tickets. I don't know if Jake was the one that called in and got booted, but Jake is the one that's going to get to compete. As always, we'll bring them both onto the show. We'll ask them the same question. Dennis will be the judge. He'll pick his favorite answer. That person will go first, and we'll go from there. We'll start with Jake, since he just jumped on. Jake, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, the question for today is the same question it always is on Mondays. What was the highlight of your weekend? But because we're a sports show, keep it sports related.
Well, I had the nephews over for a birthday party, and we played 2v1 soccer.
Okay.
And I'm not going to lie, they beat me pretty bad.
All right. Any follow-ups, Dennis?
No questions.
All right. In that case, we move to Mark in Raleigh. Mark, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Same question to you. It's a Monday. What was the highlight of your weekend? But because we're a sports show, keep it sports related.
Let's see. My grandson was in town from Minneapolis, so we went to a couple sports stores and trading card stores and probably dropped $100 on all kinds of trading cards for him. How about that?
All right. That's definitely sports related. Any follow-ups?
And do you find like what kind of cards did you end up with?
Oh, he bought some soccer cards because he has a Spain fan, so he has his Yasmin Lamal jersey, and we bought some basketball and then some Topps trading cards. He got one pack had two of the same cards but different borders. You know, their cards are so different than when I was a kid. But yeah, those were what we bought.
Okay,
I believe those are called alternates or variations or something.
A variant?
Yeah, that's not it.
I know in the comic book world you can have like a variant cover.
It's
a book.
Yeah, like it'll be the exact same card, only it'll have like a green hologram rather than a red, and the red is worth way more than the green. It makes it's all just basically currency. I forget what they're called though. There's like a name for it. I'll come up with it during the break. Either way, the options are, Dennis, you get to choose from Jake, whose highlight was his nephew's birthday was at the house. They had a 2v1 soccer going on, and Jake lost pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Or Mark and Raleigh, whose grandson was in from Minnesota, and they did a little sports trading card shopping, including some soccer, basketball, and some Topps.
As an uncle myself, you cannot let your nieces and nephews win. You just cannot. You cannot. I don't care if it's 2-on-1. You can't let them win. I got to go with Mark and Raleigh on this one.
All right.
Got to go with Mark and Raleigh on this one.
Mark and Raleigh will go first. Jake, don't worry. You'll have your chance. Just have to sit on hold for a minute or two. Both very familiar, like family-oriented.
I enjoy both.
Mark will go first, so let's start with Mark. Mark, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you ready to pick your category? Might be a better way to start this.
Yeah, let's go.
All
what
right.
do you got?
Categories are NFL, the places you'll go, all players with a city or a state, something geographic in their name. MLB, always seeing double, guys who led the league in doubles at some point in their career. NBA players that were Russell Westbrook's teammate at some time or another, or NHL Hurricanes only.
Let's go. Well, let's do baseball. Let's see.
All right.
Let's try that. The doubles leaders.
These are all players who led the league in doubles at some point in their career. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Do you have any questions before we get started?
No, sir.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Jose Ramirez, Cleveland Guardians.
22.
Incorrect. Jaron Duran, Boston Red Sox.
11.
Incorrect. Jose Ramirez, Cleveland Guardians.
Pass.
Corey Seager, Texas Rangers.
29.
Incorrect. Jaron Duran, Boston Red Sox.
18.
Incorrect. Jose Ramirez, Cleveland Guardians.
9.
Incorrect. Corey Seager, Texas Rangers.
22.
Incorrect.
Kill me.
You said 11 for, I believe it was Duran. We needed 11 for Jose Ramirez. So you just had to keep saying 11. Ramirez, 11 or 62. Duran, 16 or 40. Seager, number 5 is what we were looking for. Unfortunately, that is an offer, as we call it. But because you went first, you're still open for a tiebreaker victory if we go double offer. So stay on the line. We'll see if it holds up.
All right.
There you go. That brings us to Jake and Raleigh. Jake, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. The categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL, the places you'll go, people with cities or geographics in their name. NBA, Russell Westbrook's teammates at some time or another. Or NHL, Hurricanes only.
NFL, places you'll go.
All right. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. You need at least one for the victory, but keep going for the perfect score. Do you have any questions before we get started?
No, sir.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Jordan Love, Green Bay Packers.
10.
Correct. Trey Boston, Carolina Panthers.
Pass.
Eugene Robinson, Seattle Seahawks.
81.
Incorrect. Austin Hooper, New England Patriots.
84.
Incorrect. Trey Boston, Carolina Panthers.
32.
Incorrect. Eugene Robinson, Seattle Seahawks.
82.
Incorrect. Austin Hooper, New England Patriots.
81.
Correct. Hey, there you go. That you needed one. You got two. I was gonna feel bad because Austin Hooper going 82 right out the gate. I was like, you better get back to 81. Jordan Love 10, Trey Boston 33, Eugene Robinson 41, Austin Hooper 81 were the numbers we were looking for. You got 2 out of 4 or 2 out of the 5. That's all you needed. So congratulations, you are the winner.
All right, thank you.
Go ahead and stay on the line, and Dennis will grab the info he needs to make sure you get your prize. Obviously, Jordan, like Jordan Country. Trey Boston, Boston, Massachusetts. Eugene Robinson, Eugene, Oregon. Austin Hooper, Austin, Texas. That's how the places you'll go category works. And congratulations to him. At least it wasn't a double offer. I always get nervous when somebody throws an offer out there right at the gate, but especially on a Monday. You don't want to start the week on a double offer. But that's not, at last, what happened. Don't forget, please, haven't asked you for this, subscribe to our YouTube, 99.9 The Fan. I promise you, we put a lot of work into it, and if you're a sports fan, you'll enjoy a lot of the content we're cranking out on our YouTube. So 99.9 The Fan on YouTube, subscribe, and also download the app, 99.9 The Fan, Google Play, App Store, Google Play or App Store, available in both, completely free. You can listen to us anywhere, live shows, archives, written stuff if you're more of a reader. It's all there on our 99.9 The Fan app. Speaking of, I believe Thursday of this week, we're going to be out at the Holly Springs Salamanders. So if you're into baseball, our show's going to be live from out there. We're going to have a good time with it. Show on the road is always fun. We were just on the road for ACC kickoff not long ago, and we're heading back out into the wilderness. So if you want to come stop by, say hi, we always enjoy hearing from you all. Also, I think that's everything I needed to pass along. All right, we're doing okay. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We are going to get back into the Michael Lombardi thing here in a second. Paid administrative leave is one of those things that, you want to be clear. We don't know what happened, and they're investigating. So all of the facts have not been made public, and I don't know if they ever will. But paid administrative leave is a ominous thing to say, right? It just gives you a pit in your stomach. Could they do the investigation and find whatever they were looking for was unfounded? Perhaps, but the Carolina Tar Heels football program has another distraction. They have another distraction. From a coach who notoriously hates distractions, Bill Belichick, they have another distraction. And maybe we haven't talked about this enough, and maybe this is what the conversation we'll have next. College athletes aren't as good at compartmentalizing as pros. They've got a lot on their plate already. Sure, with the Patriots, they were able to take all these scandals and everything and put them in a box and go play football. I don't know if it's as easy for a 19 or 20-year-old with a little less life experience. So we'll dive into that coming up in a minute. But before any of it, Dennis Cox has something he'd like to tell you.
Hey, everyone. Dennis Cox here real quick for my friends over at Law Tigers. One thing I had to do recently, just like any vehicle out there, my motorcycle needed an inspection done. So went to a dealership right here in Raleigh, to get the inspection done on my motorcycle. That way I can, everything's up to date, right? And one of the things that I saw when it was on a Saturday, getting my motorcycle inspected, was just walking around the dealership about how they actually had a spot where people can donate back to school items. And it was kind of a reminder about how there's a community in the motorcycle world, even if you're not part of a riding club or anything like that, but you're part of a community. And the one thing I appreciate about Law Tigers is part of that community. And you want to have, in case you're ever in a situation where you need help, you want to have the people in your community there to help you. So if you're injured in a motorcycle accident, turn to the people in the community that are there for you, and that's Law Tigers. If you're injured in a motorcycle accident, get in touch with Law Tigers, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, or visit lawtigers.com even before you get in touch with the insurance company. Law Tigers was created a quarter century ago by people in the motorcycle riding community to help motorcycle riders in times of need. That's why with Law Tigers, your case evaluation, it's always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. So again, if you're injured in an accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, dives back into it. Michael Lombardi, paid administrative leave, Tar Heels football general manager. Can they fix the drama? Stick around.
The Adam Gold Show.
Don't buy this line that Carolina only won the cup because Florida was too broken to challenge for a third straight title. The Hurricanes were the best team in the league. They were way better than they were the previous year. And I know we can't prove it, but I think Carolina would have beaten Florida if the Panthers were standing in their way. Don't worry what Florida did. Make yourself better.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55-plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Oak Cliff Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
It's bow time. Ordering Bojangles Bow Bites is the easiest choice you'll make today. The bite-sized hand-breaded chicken is fried to crispy perfection, making it perfect for sharing, snacking, or when you're on the go. Just don't call it a nugget. The only hard part is choosing from our 6 dipping sauces. We've got a sauce for every kind of craving, from our creamy house-made ranch to our sweet and spicy peach honey pepper sauce. It all depends on what kind of mood you're in. Head to your nearest Bojangles today and discover the dippable, shareable, and craveable Bow Bites. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to head on over to Bojangles to try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. Bite-sized hand-breaded chicken fried to crispy perfection. On the go, they're perfect for snacking or sharing. Dipped in your favorite sauce like creamy house-made ranch or peach honey pepper, they're the perfect way to satisfy your craving for flavor and value. Try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. It's an easy choice to make when it's bow time.
Progressive provides protection for your boat and other outdoor vehicles so you can explore new things.
Oh, I can finally try pesto.
We meant like water skiing.
I've just never had pesto.
Or maybe take the boat somewhere new.
I mean, is pesto spicy or sweet? Oh, guess we'll find out, right?
Right. Bundle home or auto insurance with your boat, RV, or motorcycle and stay protected with Progressive while you explore.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not ready for pesto.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
This Hour of the Drive is brought to you by Law Tigers. Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. Case evaluations are always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. All right, one more time for today. I'm going to run through the nuts and bolts, the what you need to know involving the Tar Heels football program's general manager being on paid administrative leave. Michael Lombardi, a longtime collaborator, employee of teams that are coached by Bill Belichick, and one of the highest, if not the highest paid general manager in all of college football, was placed on paid administrative leave by the school. Their investigation is not going to be something that the university talks about. There are reports that say it comes from an HR complaint made by an employee, not a player, an employee of the football program who is no longer working there. There's also a report that Pablo Torre has put out, Pablo Torre Finds Out podcast, that says Carolina, whether it's related or not, I am unaware. But Carolina is also being investigated by the College Sports Commission, which is the group that monitors and enforces NIL rules and NCAA rules. That's the nuts and bolts of it. I do wonder if something that Belichick was able to do in the pros is proving much more difficult in college, and I'm talking about something specific, not like, hey, we used to be able to get the edge better on our zone reads. No, I'm saying I wonder if he's finding it more difficult to get players to ignore distraction. Because think of how much we all matured. I'll say it for myself, or I don't want to speak for anyone else. But how much did you mature from age 20 to 26? Doesn't feel like that much time in the scheme of things, right? But it's a massive amount of time. Or how about this? And I'll use a college example. Imagine anyone that played any sports in college, okay? Any sport of any kind, or joined a club or whatever. If you had to be in an organization with like the 22-year-old seniors when you were an 18-year-old freshman. Just being around the older people, you felt older. You felt more mature, right? You felt like, oh, I better act like them. I better not be doing the dumb kid things that I did in high school, right? It may have seemed like you aged 6 years and 6 months going from high school graduation to in the locker room for your first college experience. Well, that happens again from college to the pros. Right? You may have been doing, snapping towels and being a little rabble-rouser, a little rascal in your college locker room, but then you get to the pros and there's like a 32-year-old with a mortgage and 3 kids, and you're like, yeah, I think I'm just going to shower, I'm going to read an encyclopedia, and I'm going to get out of here. Like, you just act like however you think an adult's supposed to act, right? So in the pros, think of all the things Bill Belichick was able to navigate through as the coach of the Patriots. Spygate. Deflategate. Tom Brady being suspended because of Deflategate. Aaron Hernandez's whole situation. Julian Edelman, I believe, Julian Edelman was suspended for a PED test once, wasn't he? I think he had a 4-game. Yeah,
he did.
He's had so many things happen, and he was able to just get these grown professional athletes to save that, right? Leave that at the door. Once you're in the locker room, it's all football. He was incredible at it. Meanwhile, once he got to Carolina, there's been a lot of drama, and they play like a team that's been distracted by a lot of drama, right? We talked with Melkart Abu-Jaude, one of their best players on defense, and I said, what went wrong in year one? And he said so many times the mistake was just 10 guys were on the same page, one person was doing their own thing, and that's all it takes to give up a big offensive play. That's like, oh yeah, that guy might have had a busy week, right? He might have been a little distracted by whatever's going on. And there's always something going on. I mean, at ACC kickoff in the week after, how many times did I say, I think it's good for Carolina that they're kind of in the shadows? Right? Last offseason, the spotlight was too bright. This offseason, it feels like they're working in the shadows here. Not everybody's not asking about them. It didn't make it a week.
Yeah, I know. Like I mentioned earlier, it was nice to actually have a conversation of like, hey, who's the starting quarterback going to be this year?
We were able to criticize and debate and compliment them for the things that I want to criticize and debate and compliment them for. Football, Football decisions. I think it's ridiculous they're having a 4-quarterback competition and claiming everybody's even and it's an open competition. I think it's ridiculous, but that's what a sports show does, right? I don't want to be talking about, what possible HR violations can get somebody who's making $1.5 million put on paid administrative leave. I want to be talking about how much Jordan Shipp should benefit from another year in college and how he's a breakout candidate. I want to talk about what it's going to be like when they play NC State and Davion Goss, their running back from last year, is on the other sideline playing for State. I want to talk about football, but Carolina always has the side show. There's always something. There's always a Instagram post of Bill Belichick and his girlfriend that everybody wants to talk about. There's always a Freedom of Information Act request from somebody about something that everyone wants to talk about. There's always a expose or a tell-all that's going to be released. There's always the Patriots aren't allowed to have their scouts on campus. There's always something going on. There's always, why isn't Carolina posting enough about Drake May in the middle of a maybe MVP season? There's always a sideshow going on. And it's just, quite frankly, more difficult for a 19 or 20-year-old to block all that out and focus on third down tendencies.
And most of the distraction stuff, outside of the players and the speeding tickets and those kinds of things, it's all from the adults.
You like the coaches.
Yeah, coaches, or in this case, Lombardi. It's the adults, right? The people that are supposed to be the adults.
And the players have to answer the questions.
Yeah.
Why can't the Patriots scouts were banned from the facility? As a player, does that upset you that you that's one of 32 NFL teams that can't come in and evaluate you? Like, they had to answer for they should never have to answer for that. Because, like you said, like the players are adults now and the coaches are, but I know what you're saying. Like, the supposed adult in the room was the one causing all of that, holding grudges, being petty. They can't get away from it. And whether it's any one person's fault, all of these things don't stem from the same place, but it's always something. There's always, waiting around the corner, another long article that we have to read with allegations. And it's only going to continue until at least this Michael Lombardi situation's taken care of. And then it gets messier. Michael Lombardi's son is the quarterback's coach, right? So even if Michael Lombardi, falls on the metaphorical sword and is like, you know what? I'm a distraction. I'll negotiate a buyout. I'll bounce. His son's the quarterback's coach. Like, there's still a connection there.
Now, if you're recruiting and all those kinds of things as well, it's like, okay, the GM's paid administrative leave. Okay, who do I talk to now? Agents or all that kind of stuff. Like, all right, who do I talk to now? Like,
and there's been weird things. Remember, I don't even know if it proved true, but there were reporters saying that Michael Lombardi took like an unauthorized trip to Saudi Arabia to recruit money.
Yeah.
There's so many. It's always something. It's always something. When you're a college football coach or a college football player, your life is wake up, take care of your responsibilities, either school or like family, and football. And that's it. That's it. There's not enough time in the day to create this drama, but they've found the time. My life has never been more boring than when I was playing college football, because there's just no time for exciting. If you win, you get like 10 hours to celebrate, then you're back and you're working out. It's boring. It's a lot of doing the same thing over and over again. Carolina hasn't had a week that's the same in a year. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. This isn't going away, so I'm sure we'll talk about it in the future. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. As I said earlier, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan. We'd very much appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow for a Tuesday edition of the show. So be back here at 3 o'clock. Until then, have a great night, everybody.
Excuse me, you think you could spare a square?
Sorry, what?
A square on your smartphone.
Oh, yeah, for the 99.9 The Fan app.
Exactly. Listen to your favorite hosts, teams, and live sports action.
The Carolina Hurricanes are the best team in the NHL. They won the 2026 Stanley Cup.
And every podcast episode at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere.
Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today.
You hear that? That's the sound